It is September 27th, Sunday, the aftermath of Hasbro Pulse Con 2020, and the dust has settled, and a lot of crazy stuff has been shown off. Man, oh man, guys, there is a lot to discuss. There is a lot to talk about. Woo! What up, Josh? Stephen Joyce is in the house. Everybody's here. What's up, Michael Koo? Got some of our members and Patreon boys up in here. Good to see everybody. There's a lot to talk about, and also we're going to be talking about some exclusive Transformer product today. Today, you're going to get to see some exclusive Transformer product today. Yeah, thank you about the new haircut. It's not that great, but it's the best my sister could do during these crazy times, because I wasn't going to go to a hairdresser. I'm going to try to keep it as best possible. So you have a problem with the hair, you blame my sister. The product is, it's not going to be figure product, but it will be licensed Transformer products. And I get to kind of talk about them today here on the stream today. We will be answering some super chat questions and all of that too. Man, it's been a crazy past 24 hours. I couldn't do the stream yesterday because there was so much to do of segments for the podcast. Like, I started 11:30 sharp, and I was going nonstop, recording, editing, upload, record, edit, upload, record, edit, upload. It was just crazy, and it went nonstop until 9 p.m. And when it was all said and done, I was just like, you know what? We'll do the stream tomorrow. We'll let everyone focus on doing their pre-orders. And it was crazy. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, man, it was nuts, because Jaws D was like going, whoa, man, like, where's all this news coming from? And he was kind of probably happy that he didn't have to be a part of that, because he would have been busy for like 9 hours straight of just processing everything. Oh, Larry's here too. Where's Larry? I guess Larry's here. I didn't see him. Anyway, but yeah, so it was crazy. It's just, I mean, there's so much to talk about between the Kingdom reveals, the RED stuff that we now have a better idea of how the non-G1 kind of aesthetic is going to look for some of those. Between all the pre-orders, between the Transformers Prime 10th anniversary stuff, the Studio Series stuff, the Hall of Fame stuff that we had to talk about just like for a split second. It's so much. It's so much. What's up, Roman? Man, oh man. I don't even know where to begin. Like, I mean, the one thing that I do want to do, what I want to bring up more than anything, is the Transformers Prime breakdown. Now, I have the original breakdown. I don't have the Silas breakdown, and I don't have the Jet Viacon, but I have the original breakdown. It's kind of hard to see. It's over there. Wait, that's animated toys. A little lower. It's hard to see. The Prime stuff is a little lower. But the point is that, fix that for you guys. The point is that the breakdown, I am absolutely shocked by how cheap it is. I did not expect it to be $39.99, and I'm telling you, people, I'm telling you, and there's people that are questioning it, but I'm telling you, when this thing sells out, it is going to skyrocket on eBay afterwards. The secondary market on it is going to be nuts, because it's underpriced. It's heavily underpriced. A Voyager and a Deluxe using the old style toy production, not the new style, the 2013 style that we have today of toy production with SABS plastic. The old style toy production. It comes with model sprues, the whole 9 yards, and yet it's $39.99. So pick that stuff up, man. pick that stuff up. Oh, Larry, you got the GI Joe. Like it was nuts. It was nuts. Yesterday was just absolutely crazy, and it's the way that I see it. You'd be silly not to pick it up, and most people, if they don't pick it up, they're going to regret it later. They will. And we already have a super chat by DownrightSuperb. He says, Beast Wars will be huge. Even my brother wants Cheetor. Well, and this is what I was talking about with Aaron Archer a couple of streams ago. Like, right now, the target demographic is a 90s kid. And if you were a 90s kid and you watched Beast Wars, that was your G1. It wasn't my G1. I was raised on G1. But I know how the business and marketing works with things and where money goes. You know, so it's something that, man, like, it's going to be huge. And look at the packaging. Did you see the packaging of this Kingdom stuff? This is like super crazy throwback, man. Like, you know, Beast Wars packaging was so beautiful with the reptile skin and the Dinobot eye and the amazing art. And now they're kind of like bringing back like that huge emphasis on art. Like, I don't want to rag on like Siege or Earthrise packaging, but I mean, like, you know, when you have up like this, it's kind of meh. And then you got that, and that's not too bad. And then it's kind of meh, you know. But man, like the packaging for Kingdom stuff is crazy. I'm going to be using this a lot today because there's a lot to talk about. But it's nuts. It's crazy. Will the original Beast Wars figures go up and down the secondary market? From personal experience, I've always felt that certain characters, when a better version of them comes out, the older ones suffer. Best example was when we got Generations Rhinox. Like, when we got that Generations Rhinox toy, that old Rhinox toy just didn't have any interest. But there also might be a resurgence of interest to actually get some of those old toys. The thing is most Transformer fans, we want the best version of a character. But then when you have speculators and outside of the fandom collectors coming in who are like, oh, hey, I wasn't interested in Transformers except for when I was a kid in the 90s. Now it's about Beast Wars. I like those beasties. I want to get in on that. And so they get in on that. Then they want to get the old toys they had as a kid because, you know, hey, they don't know that a Rhinox is coming. They don't know that an Air Razor is coming or a Tigatron. They don't know about Masterpiece. So they end up looking for those old toys on eBay. There's a strong possibility that that secondary market is going to go up. Are we supposed to get Slammer? I think so, Steven. I think, like, the rumors that have been listed is that we're going to have some kind of retool of Warpath as a white Slammer, pretty much. But nothing confirmed 100%. That's just from Walmart listings at the time being, you know? But yeah. Did you pre-order any of the Kingdom figures? I can't. Where I am, I can't. I'm in the worst part of Canada when it comes to pre-ordering stuff from Hasbro Pulse. But I'm not worried about that. That's going to be, look, all that Kingdom stuff is going to be Wave 1 in retail. It's going to be plentiful. It wasn't difficult to find Wave 1 Earthrise stuff. It wasn't difficult to find Wave 1 Siege stuff. It wasn't difficult to find Wave 1 Power of the Prime stuff. It'll be the same thing here. It'll be plentiful. There'll be hype. They're beautiful packaging. I won't have a problem getting it. The only stuff that'll be difficult is all the Hasbro Pulse exclusive stuff. But, you know, again, I'm not too concerned about that. Trust me, I already had people that helped me out that got other stuff anyways. But, you know, it's going to be crazy. When is Walmart going to give us a pack rat again? That'd be cool. I'm pretty sure. You know what? Look, every single Rat Trap mold we've ever gotten has had a blue repaint. Whether it be the original, the Transmetal, the Generations one. So you know they're going to do a blue repaint. You know they're going to do something. Protoman, you just convinced me to pre-order TF Prime exclusives from Hasbro Pulse. Note, I'm not an employee and not involved in Hasbro Pulse. Look, I'm telling you, even if you're not interested in the breakdown, I guarantee that's something that's going to hold its value or increase in value. I'm going to revisit this story. I'm telling you, I'm going to wait, like, no joke, when it ships out. Like, either when the pre-order closes and it's not up for pre-order anymore, when it's sold out, or when it ships out in January, I'm going to revisit this story and look at the secondary market numbers and see how it's moving. And I guarantee, I'm telling you, personal experience from all of this, it's going to go up. But it not only is it going to go up, but it's such a low risk investment because it is so cheap. I have never seen a Voyager and a Deluxe put into a packaging and sold so cheaply in a market that normally never gives that, and the extra stuff put in the box too. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's up with the Titan Arc? It's the last Autobot. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Like, when I did my video a while back, I did that leaky faucet video, and people were like, what is he trying to say? Here's the thing. So the brown Vector Prime, when that toy was made for the Universe 2.0 line, it was an homage to the last Autobot. So what I was doing was I showed the little titanium, arc, and then I showed the Vector Prime. And anyone that can make that connection, well, it's the last Autobot. There's your answer. Look at his face. It's the last Autobot. There's going to be more art that's going to be leaking soon. You will see. I'm hoping that, in all honesty, Michael, I'm hoping that they'll do more Transformer Prime stuff. I'm hoping that, like, what we saw, those two figures, is just the beginning of what they want to do moving forward for later in 2021. Like, maybe we'll get some of the other more unique Transformer, like Gaia Unicron. Again, it's figures I already have. It's not for me, but wouldn't it be great if people had an opportunity to get Gaia Unicron cheaply? That was an amazing, very unique, cool mold, so that'd be really cool for people to get, especially if they could do it at an affordable price. I think I bought Gaia Unicron, man, I want to say like $60 when it was all said and done. That's before shipping. So if they could somehow make it $39.99, that'd be incredible. We have a super chat question from Jake255. Were you surprised that Studio Series 86 figure line wasn't announced? I'm new to collecting, and so I can't think of any other toy-based event coming up. Well, number one, I think that maybe they want to slowly parse it out. I think that they want to do another big Fan First Friday or some kind of event, online event, and they'll focus on Studio Series and maybe some other future product. Because there's a lot of the Studio Series 86. That's a huge list of figures, and none of that has been officially revealed to us. It's all been stuff that is leaked out. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have some kind of future event. As opposed to, like you said, is there any toy-based events coming up? Nothing that's been officially announced yet, but I'm pretty sure there'll be some kind of online streaming, whatever. Because I know one of my buddies who does G.I. Joe stuff, he said, too, there's a lot of G.I. Joe stuff that leaked that wasn't shown in the G.I. Joe panel. So it looks like there's probably going to be more to be shown in the future. Are you going to collect the Transformer Beast Wars Kingdom figures? Is the sky blue? Of course. I'm going to buy it all. I love my beasts. There's a 10th anniversary line behind me there. It's probably going to be the most I've spent on mainline in a long while. In retail mainline in a long while. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, see, I'm reading online too that supposedly Polar Claw and Gears got scrapped, but I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. I'll see what happens when it happens. I'm pretty sure, there's only so many slots that could exist anyways for 4 waves of Deluxes, Core, and Voyager and Leader. But at the same time, we'll see what happens. I would love it if Polar Claw would be there. I love Polar Claw. I love that first wave of Beast Wars, that 1995 wave with Polar Claw and Razor Beast and Igneous. So it'd be really cool. We got a super chat by West Charleston Dixon Karthik II. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly. Thank you again, brother. Ask a question. Ask a question, man. Or just say something. I'll give you a shout out. Hey, Daniel, how was your night? Still, I can't believe the price on that Prime figure pre-ordered them so quickly. Yeah, that's what I was just saying before Transformer 2002. That's exactly what I was saying. It's ridiculous because, number one, Hasbro's been steadily increasing the price of Deluxes and Voyagers. Number two, they had to change the plastic to make them cheaper to begin with, even though they're increasing the prices. So the fact that they took an old school tooling and engineering 2010, 2012 mold and brought it to the modern era and then made it even cheaper, that's crazy. That's crazy. I almost feel like, because I'm going to get one, I'm going to compare it. I'm going to literally do photo shoots and probably like my Instagram or something or on Twitter, and I'm going to compare them and see there's got to be something different here, because how are they getting away with it? I really don't know. Any idea if we'll get a Transformers Prime tailgate? I hope so. That'd be cool. Just do it. Just do like a blue repaint / retool of a first edition Cliff Jumper or something. That'd be cool. So here, Tristan McDonald. Dinobot is on Black Arachne as box art, Waspinator, and Scorponok. Maybe it's Dinobot, or maybe it's Paleotrex. Some people have been saying maybe it's just Paleotrex. Some people are saying it's Dinobot. But it could be Dinobot, because we already know that the story is going to be a time paradox. It's going to be like, hey, what if the Ark didn't crash into Mount St. Hilary? What if it actually just landed nicely on top of the volcano and they all got out instead of them going in the stasis lock? And I guess if that happens, maybe Dinobot doesn't defect from the Predacons and join the Maximals. Maybe he stays with Megatron because he feels that, these Decepticons could bolster the war or something. Who knows? Who knows? There's all kinds of crazy stuff. What do I think of the fossilizers? I think they're pretty crazy. I like what I see, primarily because it's different. The thing with me is, especially when you're someone like me that's been collecting Transformers as long as I have, as long as I have, you kind of get stagnant when you have stuff that's been like, look, Combiner Wars, Titans Return, Power of the Prime, Siege, and Earthrise was the 84, 85, 86 Optimus Prime show. It was just Optimus Prime, Bumblebees, Jazzes, and again, I love those characters, but you kind of get bored of them after you've been getting it for 10 years. It's kind of crazy. So to get something that's original characters, brand new characters, like that's why I liked people like Sound Barrier, or Slitherfang, because at least those were new characters. They were new created stuff that was interesting to me. So to get like Vertebrake, to get like Paleotrex, like that's new Predacon characters to add to your ranks, to add to your stuff, instead of just yet another Optimus, yet another Starscream, yet another Datsun brother, yet another Lamborghini brother. How many times am I going to buy Ironhide in the past 3 years? Or Ratchet. So it's something that, hey, if I'm going to be spending, $21.99 or whatever the deluxe price point's going to be, it's going to be something fresh and new. It's going to be something where I ain't feel like I'm buying the same thing over and over again. But yeah, you know what, guys? We're going to take a moment, and we're going to take a moment to talk about one of the reveals today, because we got about 94 people in the room, so it's a good number. It's a good number. So if people didn't realize, I'm wearing on my shirt right now. One sec. Let me just, because you guys are also going to get a little deal, okay? Let me just cue everything up here. So I'm wearing a brand new shirt. This is brand new. It's not out yet, but you could order it, and it'll be in your home soon. This is from Symbiote Studios, and they're a licensed company by Hasbro, and they do Transformer product. They also do, these are brand new, first time. These are sealed from the factory. They do plush. And each plush that you get, so this is the Bumblebee. It's licensed by Hasbro. It also comes with a little pin. Here, I'll actually show the Optimus one here. I opened up the Optimus here. So here's Optimus Prime. And he comes with a little enamel pin. Really cool. I really like the pins. And they're quite huge. And they use like some kind of mink fabric, which is like, I don't know. My beard's going to probably destroy it. But they're really cute. And they're very high quality. So I got these sent to me by Symbiote Studios. And so, actually I wanted to show also the Soundwave, because the Soundwave has something really cool too. So with the Soundwave, I'm going to open this one up. Unbox live. So this is the Soundwave. Now the Soundwave, he has his little cannon on the side here and everything. Now some people, they're not a fan of the way the eyes are. So Soundwave actually comes with some visor, if you want to have him with the visor or without. that should be the thumbnail for the segment. And of course, they come with the cool little pins and everything. So what we're going to do is, if you go to, I'm just going to cue this up on my phone here. If you go to symbiotestudios.com, I love how my camera is barely getting that. If you go to symbiotestudios.com and you use the promo code Protoman when you check out, you will get $5 off your order. There's a whole bunch of pins. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Symbiotestudios.com. I think I'll type it in the... there we go. Symbiote Studios just checked in and showed the promo code right there. So check that out. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They're very soft. I was surprised how soft they are. But I really dig the pins. I think the pins are the coolest thing of them all, especially in each one that you buy, it comes with a character matching pin. These are officially licensed by Hasbro. So these will be coming out soon, so you could pre-order them now and get them straight to your home. So you could have your nice fluffy Optimus and you could just chill, waiting for your Kingdom toys to come out and go, man, I wish you were Cheetor, truck not monkey, but still, you know. So just wanted to just bring that up. And again, they also have t-shirts. They have the Optimus right now. They have also Snake Eyes if you're looking at the G.I. Joe movie stuff that's being hyped up. They're going to be doing other Hasbro licensed stuff in the future. So, and I think the Soundwave shirt is also available too. But yeah, definitely check it out, man. Check it out. Promo code. It's pretty awesome stuff. Now, back to the talk. So, let's see what we got here. What do you think are the odds of would they end up doing Tarantulas and Beast Wars Inferno? I think we're going to get those both. Beast Wars plushies. Maybe we'll get an Optimus Primal. Wouldn't that be cool? Get an Optimus Primal plushie. Really cool. Thank you. Looking good in the shirt. It's a nice shirt. Good quality. I like the, because usually like some shirts that I buy, I wish I had like my Transformer ones that I bought from Hot Topic. Like it's like a press on and you feel like after you wash it once, it's going to crack and everything. But this is like really good. Like it's really good quality stuff. And I like also because it's not a tag. See, you got Transformers. Yeah, it's a large. You got Transformers, so there's no tag too. It's one of those really comfy anti-itch shirts. I dig it. Good stuff, yo. But really cool, really cool. Anyways, going back to the question, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, for sure, we're gonna get Tarantulas for sure. All the season 1 guys, I feel at some point we're gonna be getting. Inferno, probably the one that might be the most difficult, only because they gave us an Inferno, but it's not what we think. It's a certain fire truck, which I have no problem with. I love G1 Inferno. He's actually one of my favorite G1 characters, but still, like, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, one person asked here, where was it? Any theories on the Odyssey figures? So I remember when I talked about the Odyssey figures, I was trying to actually make correlations between the different worlds that they were, and how like one was the GoBots world, like the GoBots world, and one was, you know, some of this Animal Planet world. Considering what they showed us in the stream and how like I think it was Biosphere, which was supposed to be like one of the animal worlds, is going to come with the 2-pack of clones. I don't think there's really a connection in the theme. I mean, Paradron, yeah, there was, but I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to read those. I think that they have names. We're going to get something, but what that something is, we don't know. I think that, and not to mention the fact that one of those things was a reissue / repaint of some old molds from Titan's Return is even more like, wow, okay. So there's no rules really with the Galactic Odyssey kind of stuff. It's kind of whatever they want to put out there. Could be Beast. Could be old molds, could be new stuff. We don't know. The Netflix series has been very decisive in the fandom. Do you think Kingdom might have the same effect on 90s fans? I'm going to be talking about Earthrise tomorrow. I have a lot of different opinions on that. I was kind of rough on Siege, only because I was kind of expecting more, and I really, really, really... I don't know. And I'm going to save it for tomorrow. I mean, I don't hate the Siege series, but it's not exactly like a 9 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 or even a 10 out of 10 Transformer series. It really is kind of middle of the road, and I feel that it could have been better. But I'm gonna get. I'll talk more about like what I feel about the Earthrise stuff that we saw and what FJ DeSanto and I believe it was Ben Chang discussed yesterday about what's going to be coming from Netflix from Chapter 2, and we saw the trailer, and there's all kinds of different things that were mentioned. So I'll get into that tomorrow. I have a huge segment. I want to just go on a huge rant on that and pick apart little things here and there, and stuff that was said again also in the stream that really people didn't. I was the whole time. Trust me. Like yesterday, I was writing notes every time there was like some kind of mirror. I was like, oh, okay. It was pretty bananas. Michael Koo says, I think that the Netflix TF War for Cybertron Kingdom could use a reboot to the TF universe. You know what? Look, again, I'll get into it tomorrow because my big concern with Earthrise is like 4 words: more of the same. More of the same. I'm kind of concerned about that, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. See, Lego, Prime, Beast Wars, animated, those were stellar stuff. Like, you would think something that's a 6-episode Netflix thing that they had plenty of time to really, get ready for. I don't know. I was hoping for more. I really was. But yeah, again, I don't want to rag on it. If you like it, you like it. Everyone has different tastes, everyone has different things, everyone has different characters they like. So if you enjoyed it, hey, all the better. Have we seen Earthrise Fast Tracks box art? I don't think we have, actually, not to my knowledge. I usually really try to pay attention to that too because I really like box art. It's a Japanese-like series based on... see, it's advertised on Netflix as an anime series, but it's not really... I don't know if anyone remembers a show called Totally Spies. It's kind of like it's anime, but it's not anime. That's kind of what War for Cybertron Siege is right now. It's kind of like the not anime. Or even like Avatar. But I don't want to really say Avatar, because Avatar is actually not bad. So, but yeah. Either way, it's been a crazy couple days. Yeah, I don't know. Fake anime. I think American anime. There's a few different terms for it. Hey Protoman, I was looking at the head of the unnamed Arc Transformer. It looks a lot like it's the last Autobot. If you're late to it, it's the last Autobot. That's all I'm gonna say. It's the last Autobot. In regards to War for Cybertron Kingdom, Huffer, I don't think they're gonna be repaints of old toys. I think that, or pre-existing, like some people are even saying, oh, they're just going to take the core Optimus and repaint it. I think Huffer's going to be his own unique mold, and then Pipes is going to be like a Generation Selects, like repaint, retool online. That's what I think they're going to do. And I only say that Pipes is going to be a Generation Selects because there's only so many slots that could exist in the retail deluxe price point. So I think that they'll put Huffer in like Wave 2, and then you'll get your repaint from online from Hasbro Pulse. And that's just how they'll be able to do that. Much like how we're going to probably get Shadow Panther from Cheetor. It's the same thing. I don't think it was ever going to be a HasLab, the Arc. I still feel to this day, and I'm someone who got that Unicron, I don't think that the Unicron did as well as people think it did. And I think that the Unicron, because it was unsuccessful, and again, this is just my opinion, because it was unsuccessful, I don't think we're going to see something of that scope anytime soon from HasLab for the Transformer brand. We might get HasLab stuff for Transformers, but something a lot more modest, because it's it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how that did. I mean, for people who weren't following, HasLab recently did another brand, their Hero Quest stuff, not related to Transformers. It's a tabletop thing, and that Hero Quest thing destroyed. Now, granted, it was a lot cheaper to get it, but it hit their 1 million mark before like even 25 days were left. And I firmly believe the Hero Quest one's going to hit $4 million easily, when the HasLab one needed $4.3 million for Unicron to be successful. So it says a lot about how people perceived that, and it's pretty nuts. In regards to the last Autobot, like you can look him up. He's a Marvel Comics character that was written by Simon Furman back in the Marvel comic days. But the way that that character is written is not going to reflect how the Arc character's version is. This Arc Titan class it's the last Autobot, but in terms of story, it's inspired by the last Autobot. If anything, it's a lot more like he's it's called the last Autobot, but it really is Omega Supreme in a lot of ways. Omega Supreme, Latin for the first, that's going to be the last line of defense. Omega Supreme. So I think it's more the last also kind of thing going on there. But that's just what's rumbling in my head. Do you have a favorite figure in all your Transformer collection? I don't know. That's a tough one. You know what? If you would have asked me like back in 2007 or 2006, I would have said Classics Hot Rod, because that was like the beginning of Classics, and Masterpiece was just starting to find its place. Like I think we had at that time, we had like Megatron and Starscream and Grimlock were still like the early Masterpieces. Now it's kind of hard to say. Probably one of my favorite Transformer anythings is mostly third party stuff right now. Like the Ox Design DX9 Carry, which is the third party Rodimus Convoy. Man, I freaking love that thing. Like that's some of my favorite Transformer things ever. Of official product, I don't know, that's really tough. There's a lot of stuff I really like. There's a lot. And I'm a guy who's not big on third party, but man, that Ox Rodimus DX9 Carry, easily amazing. You know what? Bumblebot, Mr. Bumblebot, maybe. When I get that 86 Hot Rod in hand, probably. Very probably. Not to mention, one of our resident third-party 3D printing customizer guys, Quinn, he's actually working on an upgrade kit for 86 Rodimus to fix all the inconsistencies I was talking about, like how he has like yellow knees, and how like the spoiler isn't 100% accurate because like G1 Rodimus, right? He has a flat spoiler. This is the Metalverse Rodimus, which is still to this day the most show accurate, movie accurate hot rod toy. Gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that Judd Nelson face. But so he always has a flat spoiler in the back, and Rodimus Convoy has a V spoiler that goes above his head. And the thing that sucks with the Studio 86 one, Studio Series 86, is that they gave him the Rodimus Prime spoiler. So hopefully they fix that, and if not, again, Quinn is gonna fix it. I think he'll do some third-party spoilers, and all will be right in the world, in my opinion. He's missing his fishing pole. Well, the Masterpiece, I think it was MP28, had a fishing pole. You can barely see it here. The Kiss Play one, right over there, Kiss Play Rodimus, had a fishing pole. So I have a few fishing poles already to kind of give to my Rodimus if I need. But yeah, Quinn is going to do some stuff. Maybe he'll make some fishing poles too. He'll do a little like upgrade kit, and he'll probably sell them at a future TFCon. Well, we'll see what happens, Michael. Maybe we'll get a Rodimus Prime out of it. We'll see. Like, again, we still have that Kingdom Rodimus Prime leader class that we heard about. So, but we never saw anything. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. I think, yeah, Backyard Boy says, do you think the Studio Series 8.6 figures will have a different box or have a traditional Studio Series box? I think much like how Kingdom kind of did something different to differentiate itself, I think they're going to do something here too. Not to mention, the Studio Series 86 stuff is also an anniversary line. So I think that they're going to probably put something on the box that really like goes, hey, you know, anniversary of the 86 movie, you know, like really hammer that home for the 35th anniversary. But yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. There's still a lot to learn, because for all that they showed us and all the stuff that we discussed yesterday, there still seems to be so much more that we have to learn. Do you think we'll get a mercenary DevCon? I would like that. You know what? In all honesty, when I saw the Scourge, like the Studio Series 86 Scourge, I looked at it and I was like, with a little bit of retooling, you could kind of make DevCon. Like if you like retool the head a little bit, but you still kind of keep some of the same. Granted, we haven't seen the alt mode and how they really perceived it. I mean, we all know what it'll look like, but I mean, like, still to get an idea of how it folds and everything together, I could see them doing something pretty crazy, and we could get a good DevCon out of Scourge. I mean, they've done it in the past. We had a BotCon DevCon from a Scourge mold, so I could see him being done. And that'd be pretty cool. I'd dig that. DevCon needs a good figure. He needs a really good retail figure. I mean, he probably won't even get a retail figure. If we do get a DevCon, it'll probably be a Hasbro Selects, whatever. But it would be cool. It would be cool. Personally hoping for Hasbro puts a ton of Beast Wars 2nd and Beast Wars Neo stuff. Look, I love Beast Wars Neo and Beast Wars 2nd, but I wouldn't get your hopes up with that. I mean, I would love to get a big Convoy or Break or Randy or any of them. Heinrad, get the Tanuki with the clock in his chest. But I don't know. I don't think that'll happen. And honestly, between you and me, if there's one Beast Wars Neo mold that needs to happen, it's got to be that Unicron. So the Unicron prototype. So that's what I would want. Want a Jazz with a Scatman Crothers sound chip. Oof. I don't know if they could pull that off with legal. I don't know about that, but that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, again, just to remind everyone, I might as well just do it again. Promo code Protoman. Symbiote Studios. So tired from yesterday. SymbioteStudios.com. Get yourself some Transformer plush. Get yourself some Transformer t-shirts. Officially licensed by Hasbro. Kind of curious about this. Oh my goodness. I didn't even realize it actually has a little thing so you can wear it. That's hilarious. Isn't that crazy? Oh man, I got to do a screenshot of that. That is hilarious. I didn't realize you could also wear it. Free gift, not for resale. For make your sound wave more toy accurate or show accurate. I didn't even notice that. Jeez, that's pretty cool. It's got a soft side on the side and a mink skin on the other. SymbioteStudios.com. Click on the shop section. Promo code Protoman. Get $5 off. Nick, Overlord or Impactor plush? Look, you know what I've always said. When you do product, you gotta go with the original, like, the Legendary 7. You gotta do the Legendary 7. You have to do that. It's the smart way to make money. I mean, you could put Impactor in stores in plush, but maybe 5 people will buy it. So. Look, I don't see no Hot Rod one, and I love Hot Rod. So. Hashtag ads. If you're going to get ads, get good ads. But yeah. Well, it's especially better than YouTube ads because I didn't realize you could actually wear this thing. That's pretty cool. This is good. For people who want to do Soundwave cosplay, you're already kind of there. You're like, mind you wouldn't be able to see anything, but actually, it's kind of like something you could sleep. Like you put it over your eyes. And it's so soft, too. It's interesting. Recent years, I've gotten new Beast Wars Unicron Trilogy, RID 1.0 homages, and now Prime. Where's the animated love? I'd love to see more animated. I think if there's one line that I would like to see continued and some characters finished and given a chance, it would be animated. Because we have so many characters that didn't get toys, number one, And the toys that they didn't get could have easily been made because some of those toys were just repaints. Where's the rest of the Seeker Jets? Easily doing a proper Cliff Jumper or doing a proper Wasp. You know, some of them could have easily just been repaints. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, I feel that animated was really just... And why we never got the... Well, Constructicons would have been new tooling. They weren't like someone that was appeared in a lot of episodes. I think they were only in 2 episodes, you know, not counting cameos. But it's something where it's like, I'd really like to see more animated stuff. And there's so much animated stuff that could easily be done that doesn't require new tooling or like resculpting. You could just straight up repaint. I guarantee if someone did a 2-pack of like Thundercracker, like a Voyager Thundercracker, and, you know, repaint, remold with a Slipstream, people would eat that up. They would love it. They would love it. They would absolutely love it. Hey, Protoman, what about Magnaboss? Are you talking about like if it would be a commander class? Because that's the one thing we don't know. We don't know what our commander class is going to be. We now know what our Titan is going to be. But what about our commander class figure? What is that going to be? I would like to see a Studio Series 86 Devastator. Well, we're getting a reissue of Devastator of the Titan class, so that's kind of where we're at right now. But we'll definitely see in the future what happens with some of those characters. I almost feel like part of the reason, and I was having this discussion with Aaron about it, was I think part of the reason why that reissue probably happened was not Aaron Archer, another Aaron. Because they just had to keep a trademark. Because you have like the Studio Series Devastator one, the movie one, and then this reissue one is going to be coming later in the year, so that kind of probably hits a trademark refresh. And then whatever they want to do with that trademark afterwards, we'll see. You know, if they're going to do an RED Devastator or something. Like, I'm telling you, that's going to be like, if that RED line continues, that's where you're going to see a lot of the weird trademarks show up. I'm telling you, that's going to be like when people go like, man, we haven't gotten a Brawn in a while. And then all of a sudden there's a Brawn in that or something. You know, you'll see. I don't think Polar Call will be a commander. No, I don't think Polar Call will be a commander. That's a big polar bear. I mean, it would be cool if he was a commander and his bat-like weapon actually turns into Optimus Primal, the Bat Primal. That would be cool because he's a commander. He's so big that his little bat thing could actually be like a deluxe figure. But at the same time, I think that's a little stretching it. Usually the commander class and the Titan class, those are really like centerpiece products that represent the entire like theme. And you look at Skylinks, and Skylinks, you know, he has the city platform pieces and he makes a base and everything. And it's the same thing with Skornok. It's a base thing, and that's kind of what the gimmick with Earthrise was, you know. So whatever that commander class will be will really feed into the overall theme of whatever's going on. Do you think Hasbro cares enough about copyrights for Transformer? No, see, here's the thing. There is no copyright for Transformer Victory. Like, they did some Transformer Victory characters. They trademarked those names, and then a lot of those trademarks just died because there was no plans to do anything with them. Yeah, we had Sky Shadow, which was the character Black Shadow. And that trademark is still floating for now. It's not expired yet, but it will expire one day unless they do something with it. We might get a Black Shadow in the future. Who knows? Titan class tidal wave. Maybe a commander class tidal wave. Maybe next year. We'll see. See, Primus. The sad thing about Primus is Hasbro doesn't have the trademark for Primus right now. They have the trademark for Cybertron, but they lost Primus. They didn't lose it to anybody, really, because no toy company has it right now, but they don't have it right now. And that's why when they did the Age of Extinction Cybertron Primus repaint, they just called it Cybertron. They didn't call it Primus. And I was shocked by that they let the Primus trademark lap over, and they don't have it right now. But maybe we'll see it in the future. We don't know. I checked that a while back, and it was They don't got it right now, which is very weird of Hasbro, considering that's a really key character in my mind. At least to me. It's the god of the Transformers. Kind of is a big deal, you know? Beast Wars Transmetal is using the vacuum metal process. Well, as long as they don't use the old vacuum metal process, you know? Tidal Wave is not on the poster, my brother. You are looking at the Ark, and you're looking at the last Autobot. He ain't there. What do you think? Do you think they'll get around the doing Transmetals? Well, here's the thing. Already, everything that's planned for the next 4 waves of Kingdom is already planned out. There's no Transmetals in that plan. But if Kingdom sells gangbusters, what do you think will happen? I've said this many times. Hasbro, they just keep doing what they do until it doesn't sell anymore. Oh, hey, Micromasters is selling well. Let's keep having Micromasters. Oh, they're not selling anymore? Let's get rid of Micromasters. Oh, hey, these little Headmaster Titan things, they're selling well. Let's keep doing that. Oh, they're not selling well anymore? Let's get rid of that. That's what they do. So if the Beast stuff is selling well, they'll keep doing Beasts. The second it stops selling well, they'll get rid of that and move on to the next thing. Beast Wars reissue Transmetal Megatron and Transmetal Raptor. Oh, God. Well, hopefully with modern tooling so that it doesn't have all the problems that those 2 toys had. If they make a Titan the Nemesis... Well, I mean, the easy answer is Trypticon, but I've never been a fan. I've never been a fan of the idea of Trypticon turning into the Nemesis, and I've never been a fan of the Ark transforming at all. I've always liked the idea of those guys just being ships. And that, you know, Trypticon was something that was built on Earth to fight against Metroplex, and the Ark is just the Ark. You know, it's their ship. That's all it is. And again, they want to do, again, this is time paradoxes and alternate continuity. So if they want to have the Ark be a transforming thing, that's cool with them. Do you think something will ever become of that new Armada Prime that was shown a couple years back? I think we're going to see something of it. I think they're just, you know, let's put it this way. The tooling is there. It shows that the mold exists. I think they're just waiting for maybe this Beast Wars era of hype to die down. And then when we go into a Unicron trilogy, homage, throwback, guess which mold is going to be ready to go. I know that every time they do masterpiece votings in Japan, Armada Optimus Prime, or Micron Optimus Prime as he's called there, usually gets 1st or 2nd place. So the interest is there. The question is, do they want to pull the trigger? That's the question. I want to, you know, look, Mirai, a lot of people want Unicron trilogy because that's what they grew up with. It was hilarious. I did a post on my Instagram and on Twitter of all like the Armada smokescreen toys, right? And I even showed like the BTR toy, the little PVCs, and the original deluxe. And that was considered, even by Aaron Archer, he didn't even like that toy. Like a lot of people, like back in the day, used to rag on that toy. And years later now, I showed this image, and so many people are like, man, I love that toy. Oh, I love that character. Man, that toy was sick. Oh, I wish they would bring back Smokescreen. And I'm like, see, everything comes around. Everything comes around. So, you know, sooner or later, the people that grew up on that, they have a fondness and a love for it. So it's going to be pretty cool to see that. Protoman, if you're going to cover it with your Earthrise discussion, why is Unicron on the War for Cybertron Earthrise art? Because we had a HasLab toy, and they probably just wanted to hype it and have it in the background and be some way synergized with that. Is Unicron going to be a part of the story? We'll wait and see. I think it's a little early to kind of be dropping those Unicron eggs when we still have like Kingdom and stuff, and I don't think he's going to be involved in Kingdom. But I mean, I could be wrong. If you look at the Kingdom poster, not like that wide poster, but the other one that has like the golden disc in the middle, Unicron's there too. So there's some kind of teaser going around with that. But that's all just the HasLab toy, I think. I think it's just them. Because look, all of us, we're not going to get that HasLab toy until Kingdom comes out. Maybe even later. Who knows? So we'll see. Do you think they will retool Fortress Maximus for a new Metroplex? Considering Metroplex was retooled into Fortress Maximus, I don't think so. Why would they do that? No, I don't think so. I think we'll get a Metroplex toy. It'll probably be not what people expect, and it'll be just to keep that trademark going until they do something better with it. Do you think RAD could do a animated figure? I would like that. I mean, here's an example of, like, you know, these were Kabaya did these little figurines of animated. They're kind of stiff, but you know, they did these little animated figurines many years ago, and I mean, look, it's doable. You know, give him there's a little axe weapon there, and it's pretty cool. I mean, if Kabaya was doing these for years with all the different characters, and they were pretty cool. You know, get Optimus with 2 different head sculpts, one without the mask, one with the mask. You know, have him with his axe, with an Energon, you know, weapon on it or something. Maybe give him the Allspark, you know, the big Allspark, the accessory. Give us an official one. Proto, what do you think of the relative recent inclusion of effect parts on a lot of Hasbro-oriented properties? I like them. I like them a lot. I think it's cool. As someone that collects the Ultraman ones, like the Ultraman SH figure arts and stuff, and they would always come with that kind of stuff, I always dug that kind of stuff. It always adds a little bit of extra character. And someone's messaging me. I will message him later. You know, I always feel, you know, it adds a little bit of character to stuff. Adds a little bit of extra interest. I mean, I do feel that there is a chance that some of those could dry out and break and or damage some of the figures. There already has been reports of that with the Cyberverse Deluxes, but I still appreciate them. I think they're cool. I think they make great photo shoots, but probably don't leave them on the figure. And if you pick up, which one was it? It was Commander Class Jetfire. Man, he comes with like a ton of them. He comes with like, I think like 9 or 10 like effect parts. Like, he's really cool for that. He's like an effect part like accessory kit. But yeah, I dig him. Where's there? Any thoughts on the viability of humans in RAD? Yeah, maybe as an accessory. But I don't think as a standalone. I think they're going to try to keep scale too, so a human would have to be an accessory. That's what I think. If I miss any of your questions, people, just repeat them, because sometimes stuff gets pushed up and everything, so it gets a little crazy. Someone asked, Protoman, will the VOC be used in TF Kingdom? Maybe. Again, new continuity, new destiny, new time paradox. The VOC getting involved, but in a different way. Maybe the VOC getting inside G1 Megatron, creating some crazy stuff. The Arc is a massive retooling after Metroplex. I see the similarity in the fingers. No. Sorry, Gabriel. No. Not even close. The hand articulation is common among a lot of those molds. It's a piece of art. Drawn by Marcelo. Do you think we will see the VOC? No. I don't think they'll do a VOC Black Arachnia. We saw that she's going to have a new like battle mask face sculpt thingy. I think that's going to lead into some different repaints maybe down the line. Maybe the Halloween Horicon Black Arachnia. Google that. Halloween Horicon Black Arachnia. That was an unreleased Black Arachnia toy that was supposed to be a Halloween exclusive. October's coming up. Maybe. Maybe not. Do you think we will see G1 Earthrise combiner figures or team figures in Earthrise to 100% in G1 line, or combiners off of the table? I don't think we're going to see combiners for a bit. I know that, when you look at what's going on the Japanese side, we recently got Volcanicus. So if you want to still get new combiners, there's that. And then, there was that piece of art that was at the end of one of the mangas where they're showing that another combiner team is coming. So there is going to be combiners on the Japanese side of things. but who and what it's going to be, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. The yellow joint parts are missing in the first Hot Rod leaked pictures. Hey, that's great then. That's great then. Then maybe Hot Rod's going to be perfect. Fix that spoiler. Fix that spoiler. Do that then. Do you think Iron Factory will do Unicron trilogy figures? If the demand is there. The thing what people need to understand when it comes to the third party market, they're actually kind of selling to the Chinese more than they're selling to us. So they really focus on what China wants, and then afterwards they really think about what the American market wants. So if China wants Unicron trilogy, then we'll get Unicron trilogy. We had Unicron trilogy third party stuff, and it didn't sell well. So, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't sell well if it was retail product, but in that third party high end market, they didn't really want a third party Cybertron Starscream. They didn't really want a third party, Nitro Convoy from Galaxy Force. So we'll see. Do you think Hasbro will use TF Kingdom to settle who remade into Cyclonus? Oof. I don't know. If anything, I feel they're gonna troll us. They're gonna have like Bombshell, and they're gonna have like Skywarp next to each other, and then they're gonna go off camera, and then someone's gonna be Cyclonus. Downright Superb wants to know with a super chat question. Thank you, Downright Superb. You are always awesome. I hear Mask will appear in G.I. Joe versus Transformer movie. Mask has been trying to get inside the Transformers tree of fiction for the past 10 years. And if you ask Aaron Archer, there were so many plans with Transformers Prime to spin off a Mask series. The Autobot HQ in Transformers Prime was going to become Mask's Boulder Hill. And Ratchet was going to be the bridge character, meaning like they're going to have their own Mask TV show, and Ratchet was going to be the character that's going to leave the Transformer Prime show and be part of Mask and Boulder Hill. And it just, none of that ever happened. None of that happened, and they just couldn't get Mask off the ground. And then IDW tried to do the Mask comic book. That kind of crashed and burned. They once in a while do little Mask, figures and everything with San Diego Comic-Con. Didn't really have a lot of interest. They really want to do something with Mask, but look, you just said it yourself, isn't going to be a Transformers versus G.I. Joe movie. Here's the thing. Mask is pretty much if you took G.I. Joe and Transformers and smashed them together. So, it's something where, let's see how the Snake Eyes movie does. And if the Snake Eyes movie does well, then that'll tell Hasbro and Allspark Pictures and all the things that they're doing with Paramount that they could do Hasbro brands that aren't Transformers and be successful. Because look, they did Transformers, made zillions of dollars. Regardless if you like those movies, they made zillions of dollars, those Transformer movies. And then they did the Battleship movie, and that tanked, no pun intended, like no tomorrow. And then they did the G.I. Joe movies, and those movies couldn't find an audience either. If you do a movie with The Rock and you don't make money, if you make a movie with The Rock and you don't make money, something's wrong with your brand. If Jumanji, a board game, a fictional board game, could have a sequel with The Rock and make money, and G.I. Joe with The Rock couldn't make money, something's wrong with your brand. And when I mean your brand, I don't mean like there's something wrong with G.I. Joe. I mean your brand as it pertains to the mainstream audience. Meaning like what mainstream people think of G.I. Joe. When two people go into a movie theater, stare at the marquee and go, hey, what movie are we going to see today? Maybe we'll see this. G.I. Joe with The Rock? I don't know. That sounds kind of stupid. And then they go see something else instead. So you got to do that. Transformers 2002 with the super chat. Thank you, brother. Hey, Daniel, keep up the great content. What do you think of in-store? What do you think is in store for generations after Kingdom? I think that what I think personally, and this isn't fact, Kingdom sells extremely well, and we get a continuation of Beast stuff going into the next trilogy. And the next trilogy doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be three segments of beasts. It just means we might get beasts in that first part of the trilogy, and then we might get something else in the second and third. Maybe we might see beasts meeting with Unicron trilogy. Who knows? Unicron trilogy, Armada had the beast characters. It had Cheetor as one of the acolytes of Unicron and all that crazy stuff. So actually, even Rhinox made a cameo in the Armada cartoon. So we shall see. Transmetal Rhinox too. Not to anybody. Transmetal Rhinox made a cameo in the Armada cartoon. Do you think Hasbro will update more G1 1988 characters, trigger bots? Well, that's more if they have the trademarks. If they have the trademark for Backstreet, they're going to do something with Backstreet. If they have the trademark for, Stranglehold or Bludgeon, you're going to see those characters. If they have a trademark for Blackjack, you're going to see a Micromaster from 1990. It's really just if they have the trademarks and if they want those trademarks, because you can't make a toy without the trademark. That's just too risky for them, because if they make a toy without a trademark, that means anyone could then take that and do what they want with it. Dan, just let me get the hot rod first, and then I'll be able to fix it. Quinn. Awesome. Bumblebot, are you Quinn? But yeah, that's just it. Like it's all about the trademarks. It used to be. Trademarks used to not be an issue when we had this Takara world and Takara was making their own product. Okay, Bumblebot is Quinn. Awesome. But now it's like there's this synergy where, all the product today is made together. It's unilaterally in two regions together, so they don't make something where one is exclusive to the other and not. Once in a while, they do like a Takar Tommy Mall exclusive box set or something. But in general, everything that we get is more or less sold on both sides of the ocean. But because of that, that means that you can't have crazy trademark exclusive stuff in Japan, because Japan with trademarks is a whole other animal. They could have a character called, Hellraiser, Victory Leo, and all that. And because it doesn't get released in America, they don't have to worry about trademarks. But on our side, we have to trademark everything, and that is a big roadblock for a lot of stuff. Do you think we'll see a Titan class Nemesis? Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Look, they have the Nemesis name down and packed as a trademark. They use it all the time. They use it all the time for repaints. They use it all the time for Optimus Prime characters. We could see a Nemesis one day. We could. I'm not saying anytime soon, but we could see it one day. Definitely. Have you ever thought about a Beast Wars character is a descendant of a G1 character? We know Rat Trap and RC are related. I always, when I first was watching Beast Wars, I remember, and this is like an old post that doesn't even exist anymore. This was on Benson Yee's old message board back in like 1997. This dates how old I am. I used to think that Cheetor was related to Hot Rod, that Tigertron was related to Cup because of his relationship with Cheetor and how he was like a mentor figure. I used to say that, Wheeljack was like, Wheeljack and Springer were somehow like a mishmash together, which what made Rhinox, because Rhinox had a mohawk and he was green like Springer, but he had that creativeness like Wheeljack. I used to say that obviously Pterosaur with Starscream. Like, there's the connections there. There's something there. But, none of it has ever been confirmed in fiction. And as time progresses, we look now and we see, they really are just their own characters from a new generation, the Maximals and the Predacons. But yeah, that was just something we used to discuss back in the day. Like you said, in the playground rumors. Although I was in high school, so it wasn't playground rumors, but yeah. Crazy stuff. It's been a nutty weekend. What do you think about the Biosphere Autobot Clone 2-pack reveal? I'll tell you what I think of it. I think it tells us that you can't bank... Number one, you can't bank on the planet being an indication of what is going to be the theme of the figures. And number two, it shows that the figures that they'll use aren't going to be always recent molds, because they took two molds from something from Titan's Return and brought it all the way back in here. So, that means we could see Titan Return molds, we could see Power of the Prime molds, maybe we could see even older molds. So that's what that Biosphere reveal taught us more than anything else. David Cabal with a awesome, 100% awesome super chat. And he wants to know, where do you see the future of Transformers Slag? If we're talking about the dinosaur, I'm confused by Hasbro and how they're going to bring back that trademark after they've had so many problems with it. If you're talking about the podcast, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep talking. You know what I mean? Second you guys stop talking, stop watching, I'll stop talking. You know, people enjoy what I do. People enjoy the guests that we have on the show and how we try to keep it as unfiltered as possible. That's why we're called Transformer Slag. It's the swear word from Transformers. We shoot the slag when it comes to Transformers. We tell the truth about how the brand works from a business side, from a finance side, and it gives us those little indicators of how we could predict what's going on in the future for our brand. I like to feel that I give a podcast that's different than what other Transformer podcasts do. Jumanji is based on a children's book about a board game. Yeah, I know. That's why I said fictional board game. A fictional board game. And if The Rock can make millions of dollars with that, why couldn't he do it with G.I. Joe? Maybe Jack Black is the secret. We need Jack Black in G.I. Joe. And what's his name there? Short dude that The Rock was always ragging on. Kevin Hart. You know? Maybe we need Kevin Hart. Who would Kevin Hart be? Who would be Kevin Hart be? We need someone that's short in G.I. Joe. Is Tunnel Rat short? Tunnel Rat, G.I. Joe, Kevin Hart. I don't know. Protoman, aside from doing easy repaints, why Hasbro is doing shattered glass? I think they're just doing the one or two shattered glass. I think they're just trying to have fun. It's probably them going like, look, if you have, you know, the Ratchet mold, right? You have the Ratchet mold from Earthrise, and you go, well, what do we do with the Ratchet mold? What do you repaint it into? You've already done the Ironhide retool. What do you do with it? So I think they were probably like, we got to do something with this Ratchet mold. We spent all the time retooling and everything. And they went, well, out of all the repaints that exist of Ratchet mold, we have shattered glass, or we could do the movie colors and that you know, that green, emergency green. Like, I think that they just probably were like, let's do something. And so maybe they wanted to do shattered glass. You want Jazz to be played by Kevin Hart? I don't know. Man, I'm missing all the messages here. You think obscure characters like Baboom and Polar Claw more likely show up in a Beast Wars movie line? I would like that. I would love any non-show characters to get more attention. Polar Claw specifically, because at least Baboom had Apache in Beast Wars 2nd, so he, you know, if you owned that toy, you kind of got to see it in action and animation, at least with Beast Wars 2nd or Beast Wars 2 for some people, as they like to call it. But you know, like Polar Claw, he had Survive, which was this, like, you know, brown bear kind of repaint, but Polar Claw himself never got really anything cool. Unless you call it like a Robot Chicken sketch where they repainted him as a panda. But I don't know. It'd be really cool to have more Polar Claw stuff. I'd really like it if he was, if they actually do make a toy, and if he's in the Kingdom Netflix series, because that's one of those, like, when you think about all the larger price point Beast Wars toys, like it's like him, Transketo, like who else is there? Like from Mega and above, everyone that's been Mega and above, more or less, you know, kind of had some kind of show appearance. And like I said, yeah, Baboom at least was in Beast Wars 2nd, but Polar Claw is like this holdout. He's the only one that, like, he wasn't even in Beast Wars 2nd, so it'd be kind of cool, like he's one of the last few. What do you think? Do you think we'll get a Netflix Sound Blaster? Well, we got the what was it, the 30th anniversary repaint. I think that's probably it for that character for now. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a repaint down the line of the new mold, but as it stands right now, that's all we got for that Netflix Sound Blaster. I mean, there is going to be more of an emphasis on Mercenaries, but does that mean we're going to see Sound Blaster? Not confirmed. especially by the trailers. We're going to discuss that more tomorrow in the segment for sure. Closest we got was Survive. Yeah, exactly. And Survive is in Polar Cloth. It's a completely different repaint. Where at least with Apache, it was straight up 100% the Baboom toy. You know, there's nothing different between the two, between Apache and Baboom. So, I like Sound Blaster appear again for Bumblebee live action. Well, you know what? From what we know from the movie stuff that's going on right now, all we know is it's going to probably be an animated movie next, just because of what's going on in the world right now. I can't say it. I said it last live stream, and they took down the live stream. That's why we don't have a backup of last week's live stream. YouTube, man. Can't say anything. Can't say anything. I could swear. I could talk bad stuff. I can't talk about that. But yeah. Polar Claw would be awesome. I would love to have Polar Claw. Why is Kingdom coming in January instead of December? I don't know. You know what? We've never really had solid release dates anyways. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out in December. A lot of times, like, you know, you just see stuff where it's like, hey, Kingdom Toys broke street date, and they'll show up in December. So I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks that. Maybe the pre-orders will keep with the January release, but cases sitting in the back of a Walmart, they could break street date. You know it. Or in a Target. You know. Symbiote Studios. With a crazy super chat question. Thanks for all the support, Protoman. Remember, I might as well do it again. Remember, guys, promo code Protoman, symbiotestudios.com. Get the cool figures, get the cool pins, or get the cool t-shirts. Get the cool Soundwave with his better eyes. Or the Bumblebee. I like the Bumblebee pin. Bumblebee's the nicest one because he's kind of like side-eyeing you. Like, that one's really cool. Got to do another shout-out. Hey, it's official Hasbro product, so I'm allowed to shill Hasbro product. And besides, it's advanced product. It isn't out yet, so people should be super hyped about it. And you already get $5 off. Alrighty. Transformers War For Cybertron Kingdom in January. That's what the shipping dates are saying. The Bret Hart glasses. Yeah, it's true, eh? If they were done in pink, that'd be pretty cool. It's not like I don't have a million of those upstairs in my Bret Hart display. Actually, you know, I have one right here. Oh, yeah. That's the man. It's a little dusty, though, because it's on top of my computer. But, I'm good with them coming out in January because Statue Up at Christmas that came out. Well, you know what? Blue shades for Hot Rod. It's true, eh? Yeah, if you do a Hot Rod, Symbiote Studios. Symbiote Studios Transformer 2002 has a good point. If you do a Hot Rod one, you got to do some shades for Hot Rod. Lookout Mountain. That's a good one. Transformer 2002. I didn't think of that. It's a good idea. Why has Hasbro never done a G1 Marvel comic redo of any of their figures? Incorrect. They actually did do that. They did the Masterpiece repaint of Grimlock in his comic book colors. They call it G2 Grimlock, but I mean it was his comic book colors all around. They've done a few actually. They've done a few that were kind of throwbacks to certain color schemes from the comic books. So they've done it. It's just who would recognize it? That's the better question. Like when you put out a mass product that you're going to be making like 10,000 units of, you got to make sure that like people get the joke. You know what I mean? That people get, oh, I get it. It's a throwback to a comic book that came out 35 years ago. You know, comic books, that industry that's having a lot of problems right now. So it's kind of tough. Yeah, like look, someone mentioned Marvel Ratchet. Like, you can't even see it though, but see, over there that's Ratchet. That's a statue of Ratchet. It actually has an interchangeable head that has the Marvel head and the Marvel colors on it. So they've done stuff. Hasbro has licensed and done all kinds of stuff that have those Marvel colors, but it's who gets it. That statue, why do I own a Ratchet statue? Because it was on clearance, because no one wants statues. But yeah, Vertebrake coming out in March. I like the Ratchet deco too. I like it. I like the red head. It's cool. Maybe because I really like the Marvel comics. I really like that version of the story. I mean, I love the G1 cartoon story also, like the Japanese continuity specifically. But I love Bob and Simon's run of issues 1 to 80. And then afterwards, Regeneration. Oh, I love Regeneration by Simon Furman. That's a really good read. Marvel Megatron is such a unique deco. Yeah. Those Marvel comics, again, I was just saying, like, you know, how people don't know them, but I love them personally. But at the same time, like, not a lot of people lean on that to be something that's iconic and recognizable. They go for the cartoon. That's what most people saw. You know, for every, like, one kid that bought a Marvel Transformer comic in the 80s, there was like 100 kids that watched the Saturday morning cartoon, you know, or the, you know, Monday to Friday cartoon instead. So those are numbers that are very tough to go up against when you're doing like homage colors and what people remember from pop culture. You know, granted, yes, Primus was a comic book creation, but he was kind of superimposed into Transformers lore afterwards, with being mentioned in Beast Wars, with being used in both Energon and in the Cybertron series. So it's something that's, you know, completely like that. You know? A new Transformer movie makes sense post-Kingdom launch. Well, we'll see with that. We'll definitely see with that, because we don't know a film studio, like a film schedule yet. Like, they showed us, I want to say a year ago, they showed like what the film timeline was going to be, and it was like, here's a movie and a Bumblebee sequel, and then a potential sequel to not Age of Extinction, The Last Night, like an unnamed Transformer V, as they called it, and VI or whatever, and all of that got thrown out the window. You know, all of that got thrown out the window. So we don't know. We have no idea what the plans are going to be in the future. We'll see. We'll definitely see, but we don't know yet. Top 5 wanted characters for future movies. I don't know. How about we just do good movies and then revisit those characters? How about we have a good movie and have Jazz in it? How about we have a good movie and have Hot Rod in it? How about we have a good movie and have Bumblebee in it? You know, like, I mean, I look back at those Michael Bay movies, and they are what they are. They made Transformers mainstream. They brought the brand back from pop culture, you know, purgatory. But at the same time, I feel that those movies need to be revisited and done better. Any news for the animated movie? Nothing. Nothing yet. They said that if they are going to do something, it's going to be an animated movie. But that's all we know right now. The Dead Optimus seems to be lingering in stock at Amazon. Will there be a run when the 86 movie comes out? Do you own one? I don't own the Sleep Mode Amazon Optimus. I would like to own one. I'll probably just get one later or something. You know, that's a Studio Series 86 figure if there ever was one, in my opinion. If anything, it's the first Studio Series 86 figure. Hey, Protoman, it's the alternate universe. What if Hasbro brought Marvel Studios and not Disney? What? Hey, Protoman, in an alternate universe. Oh, I see what you're trying to say. What if Hasbro bought Marvel Studios and not Disney? I think the world would be a better place. I don't like Disney owning Marvel, because I feel that Disney is trying to get rid of Marvel's comic book division on purpose. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't like Disney. I don't trust Disney, and I don't like Disney. I saw already what it did with Star Wars, and I'm not happy with what they're going to do with Marvel in the future. So, I would always prefer Hasbro. I'm always Team Hasbro, not Team Disney. But yeah. Did you notice on Netflix, Earthrise trailer, exhaust head was just... I'm going to get into that tomorrow. Mecha Man Blade. Tomorrow I'm going to talk heavily about that stuff. WB is doing the same with comic books for DC. Yeah, that's the problem. When you have a big company that isn't really invested in being a comic book industry, and to them it's just a department that if it doesn't make money anymore, they'll just get rid of it. That's worrisome, you know. So it's the same thing. Disney, they look at the Marvel comic books division, they just go, look, this isn't making money from us, let's axe it. As opposed to if it's an actual division that survives and employs people, they're going to do whatever they can to keep it alive forever. And I don't know. I don't want to get into that rant. Like, I've never been a fan of Disney. Never. Even as a kid. As a kid, I've never been a fan of Disney. I don't know why. The movies never really talked to me. Like, I don't know, maybe because, like, you know, during that time when I was a kid, it was Beauty and the Beast, you know, Little Mermaid. I mean, Aladdin was kind of cool. You know, Lion King was kind of cool, but then Pocahontas was boring to me. They never really spoke to me, those Disney movies. I actually liked, you know, there was a lot of other movies as a kid that I enjoyed more that were animated. I loved Rover Dangerfield, The Littlest Toaster, American Tail. You know, I like those movies. Those were some of the movies I enjoyed more. And I watched a lot of anime as a kid. Like in the 80s, there was a lot of anime stuff in French. So, I don't know. Disney never was my jam. So I don't have nostalgia for Disney or loyalty to it. And we have Symbiote Studios with the super chat question, just to say, sadly, comic books might be dead. I hope you're wrong, because I love comic books, but I also know where you're coming from, Symbiote Studios, because it's not looking good right now. Hey, Protoman, what do you think is the next Transformer after War for Cybertron trilogy? I answered it before, but I think, like, if Beast Wars is successful, we'll get more Beast Wars. If Beast Wars bombs, we'll get something else. Unicron trilogy, more G1, maybe Transtech. We don't know. We shall see. Yes, Quebec. I love comics too, brother. I love comics also, but, you know, sometimes the things we love just are a product of their time, and they just can't survive in the world that we live in today, especially the world we live in now, you know? I love playing trading cards, and yet, you know, like, look at the world that's going on with the trading card world right now. It's suffering. Wizards is making money, but stores are suffering. Lion Primal with the super chat. Thank you, brother. And he asks, I colored a prototype 3.0 Starscream on Photoshop and posted on Twitter and was wondering if you saw it or not. I haven't checked Twitter yet. I came home. I was out all day. I was helping my friend mow his lawn. Long story. That's why my hair is a little messy. Essentially, he needed help taking care of his lawn because even him, he wasn't going out. And not to mention his lawnmower was messed up and I had to fix it, and that's a whole other story. It's mechanic stuff. I didn't get to check Twitter yet, but when I see it, I'll retweet it. Did you at me in it? If not, at me in it and I'll retweet it. I'll check out now, actually. We'll do it right now. Did you? Oh, you did. Okay, I will hit the retweet button. And there we go. And there we go. Let me get back to the questions. There we go. Something in the comic book industry needs to change. Well, you know what? At any industry, you know, it needs to evolve in order to survive. I think it's just more our own nostalgia that we want to physically hold a comic. But, I mean, at the end of the day, storytelling will always be the same. Like the medium of telling a story with an image, with text, will always exist. Look at us today with memes. You know, like we look at memes and we love memes and stuff like that. A meme is an image with some text and it makes us laugh and we enjoy it. It's the funny pages, you know? Comic books will always exist. It's just that I think that the way that it's being platformed and the distribution method, it's going to have to change. The only problem is that if it goes completely digital, it also opens itself up more to pirating and people stealing it and then sharing it for free online. Or if you just bought it physically, you needed to be that one nutcase that was going to scan the whole comic book and then put it online. You know, so it's going to evolve to survive, but it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn. It's kind of like how for years people used to listen to, you know, the radio, and then podcasting became a thing, and now podcasting is really the thing, and people don't really listen to radio anymore. Or how, like, you know, kids back in the day, you know, look, my generation, there's a few Canadians here in the chat here. You know, if you were a 90s kid, you came home and you watched YTV and you watched, you know, the people on television, and those were people that you looked up to and were the people you looked forward to seeing and meeting. Now this generation, they come home, they turn on YouTube and they look at their influencers and they kind of look up to those people. So it's that kind of evolution. Protoman is killing radio. I think radio has been dead for a long time. I always say if it wasn't for driving, I would never listen to the radio. And I don't even listen to the radio when I drive most of the time because I kind of hate talk radio. I really do. I really hate talk radio. It's kind of annoying. Oh, let's talk about this topic. I'm going to be the counter of this topic. I'm going to be for this topic even though I don't believe in that topic. And that's why I drive without the radio on. Hey, Protoman, banking on the animated TF movie being next. A script for it is practically already done. All they are doing now is tweaking the script and writing room to fit the rebooted universe. Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible. We don't know anything that's going on with that right now, but we'll probably find out soon enough. We probably will. Radio is killing itself in how frequently their commercial breaks are. Radio is radio. Talk radio equal live podcasting, and why podcasting is next level up. Yeah, Techno's right. Techno is 200% right with that. And not to mention, you know, the thing that's different from, let's say, what we have today as opposed to the past, it used to be when you watch TV, you were at the will of the television. You turned it on, you had the limited amount of channels, and you had to watch what was available in that time slot at that time. You had to be open-minded, and you had to watch it. Same thing with radio. You turn on the radio, you didn't choose the music you listened to, and you didn't choose the people who were talking. What was on was what was on. Today, podcasts, you decide the topics and who you want to listen to and download and listen to that. Same thing with television now with both streaming services and with the internet. You kind of decide what you want to watch now. Do you want to stream all of this TV series? Do you want to stream all of that? TV still exists, radio still exists, but they're both weaker platforms compared to this stuff today. You know, 20 years ago, you guys wouldn't be watching my face. You would be watching TV on a Sunday night. You'd be watching, like right now, 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, you'd be on Fox watching King of the Hill or Simpsons or Family Guy, you know? Like, it was a different era. Today, now it's like, you know, Sunday night, like, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, it's kind of depressing when you think about it. I don't do flashbacks to 20 years ago. Some people here weren't even born 20 years ago, so that's sometimes how it is. Do you think we'll see War for Cybertron thrust in the Netflix line? We already have confirmed that the Coneheads are going to be in the Earthrise TV show. So there's a strong possibility that if they do a Netflix line, maybe they'll be in it. We'll see. Do you think in the distant future Hasbro will do a Unicron Studio Series repaint from the HasLab one? Probably not. In the distant future, I don't think toys are going to be even half is what it is now. It's going to be even less. I think the toy market's going to take even more of a dive. Plastic costs will be even more expensive. So enjoy it while you can. Don't tell me YouTube is taking down this live stream. Not yet. Not yet. We haven't said anything that Garner's taking it down yet. We're not flagged yet. We're not flagged yet. I gotta watch my mouth. What is your favorite Masterpiece Transformer? That's a tie between a few, because I really like the Shockwave that they did. I really like the Lambor, aka Sideswipe. Like Soundwave is pretty much perfect, and the Star Saber is incredible. There's a lot of them that I really like. The Hot Rods, I was hoping for more. I want them to be better. Yeah, that's those ones. The Wheeljack's pretty awesome too. But of the cars, I got to give it to the Lamborghinis. The Lamborghinis are amazing. Specifically, that G2 Sideswipe was incredible. Didn't expect that one to happen. Protoman, did you pick up the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and how do you feel about the whole emulation controversy? So I know about that. I didn't pick it up. I was tempted to pick it up because they had a thing where if you pick it up, you get a pin set. You get that for free. And all I really wanted was the pin set because it had Super Mario 2 pins, and Super Mario 2, the original, it's my favorite Mario game of all time. I didn't get it. I own all those games individually from the past, so I didn't really see a need to get it. But the emulation controversy, look, the reality is when you're going to have all that stuff working on the Switch, it's not original hardware. It's not original loading time. They're going to have to use emulation. That's just how it is. Protoman, did you hear Peter Cullen talking about the Netflix series and Bumblebee? Didn't get a chance to. When Peter and Frank's panel went up, I was knee-deep in working on the podcast, fresh right out off of all the reveal news. Which is better, G1 or Bayverse? Really? I got a better question. What exists that's better than Bayverse? How about that one? Excuse me. What series is Bayverse better than? Go Bots? Maybe. Even that one had more character development. Super Mario Brothers 2, the masterpiece. I love Super Mario Brothers 2. And Waluigi said that and then deleted it. The Beast Within, Energon. Super Link is good. It has its mistakes. I would not say that Super Link is worse than the Bayverse. I don't know about that. Possible tease for Generation Selects Abominus. That doesn't surprise me. That's a mold that Japan never got, so makes sense. It doesn't matter which TF version you like as long as you like it. Something as Transformers is cool. I agree, Michael. There's a lot. Look, I love Master Force, and some people don't like Master Force. You know? I love Master Force. Symbiote Studios wants to know, which, by the way, get some stuff at symbiotestudios.com. Symbiote Studios wants to know, do you think we will get another Titan class figure besides the Arc? Are you happy with the Arc as a robot mode? I don't think we're going to get another Titan class in Kingdom. We get one Titan class a year. And Titan classes are always the centerpiece of every theme of that year. So I don't think we're getting another one. We'll definitely get one the year after that. Are you happy with the Arc being a transforming robot? Not really. I mean, it's cool. I get it. They wanted to make the Arc transformable. They finally got to do it after Animated did it with Omega Supreme. But at the same time, I don't know. I like the Arc being this legendary warship, not as a sentient transforming character. But that's a different story. I love Super Mario Brothers 2 villains to come back. Damn right. Wart, Mouser, Sniffix, Ninjas, Shy Guys. Well, we got tons of Shy Guys. I love Shy Guys. You know? Love Mario 2. Doesn't get enough love. Such a good game. It was like an open world Mario game. Like, you could go all the way back and all the way forward. I love that game. No time limit. Think about it. There was no time either. Like Mario 3, it was also kind of open world, but there was time limits and levels. Love it. selection, 4 characters to choose from, special abilities, the sub-zone, or the sub-con, excuse me. Who doesn't like Master Force? If you don't like it, you're going to have some issues fighting going on. I love Master Force, but I don't know. There's some people that don't like it. Where's my girl, Birdo? Nice last name. I'm working on getting through Paper Mario Origami. I want to play that. I want to play Paper Mario Origami. It looks really good. Looks like something I'd really enjoy. Looks like something I'd really, really enjoy. What happened to the planned remold for Fall of Cybertron Grimlock into Beast Wars Megatron? That was in prototype form, and it just never got anywhere. I guess they just didn't have a slot for it. Maybe they just didn't feel it was necessary. Bayverse at least knew what it is and tried not to preach any bollocks. Lost Light, on the other hand, ooh, someone doesn't like James Roberts' work. Look, there's a lot of people that don't like what James does. Yeah. I like James as a person. People who've been to conventions, they always say me and him are always together. But even I've told James I'm 50-50 on some of the stuff that he's done. He knows that I really don't like how he did Star Saber. Because I love Star Saber, and I was not a fan of how he handled Star Saber. Is the arc going to be the last Autobot? Yes. 100%. 100%. Do you think Waspinator will have a feature similar to 86 Studio Series Cup? I think it would be awesome at least if his head comes off, or if he comes with a little cube Waspinator. Comic book readers, pick a Transformers 86 secret. Yeah, that's a really good book. Yeah, Michael mentioned Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies. Very well done book. Really, really good book. Try to find issue 0 because it starts with issue 0. It doesn't just start with issue 1. It's a really good book. IDW Star Saber just messed up. Yes, he is. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's funny because people would come to James's table and they'd be like, oh, I really liked how you did Star Saber. And I remember James turned to me and he's like, see, they like it, you know, because I told him, like, didn't like. Star Saber is such a heroic, awesome character. To go Shattered Glass with him in a main line, I don't know. I get it. It's his book. He could do what he wants. But I don't know. I just wasn't a fan. Just wasn't a fan. What would have happened if Transformers Animated wasn't canceled? Transformers Animated wouldn't have been canceled if the movies weren't successful. I think it's more if the movies weren't successful, Transformers Animated would have not been canceled. Why is he called the last Autobot? Well, in the Marvel Comics fiction, there's an explanation for that. In this, we shall see. We shall see. When do you think the ARC will release and a standard Titan price? Well, let's put it this way. Usually we get our Titan class between Wave 2 and 3. Like Titan classes usually ship out between Wave 2 and 3 depending on region. So probably the same thing. When Kingdom Wave 2 to 3 is happening, we'll get our Titan class. It won't be something we're going to be getting out of the gate right away when Kingdom, reaches stores in December going into 2021. Or Hasbro call the ARC the last Autobot? Perhaps. Maybe that's a trademark that's already out there and people weren't paying attention. Maybe that's something that Protoman talks about a lot that people should be paying attention to. I'm just saying. I think TF Animated got a bad karma. No, I think it's just they really wanted to do that Transformer Prime movie aesthetic. That's just it. The movies did well, and they were like, we gotta capitalize on this. What Transformers from Japanese fiction would you like more prevalent in the West? Anything Master Force, Minerva, any of like Metal Hawk, Star Saber, Road Caesar, which is the Brain Masters, Lio Kaiser, Deathsaurus. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Give me You know, Diatlas, give me Sonic Bomber, give me Grandis. That's just to name a few. That's just to name a few. And if we're talking Japanese fiction, what about all the Beast Wars Japanese fiction? Where's my big convoy? You know? So if the arc transforms into Last Autobot has an Autobot face, what does the Nemesis turn into to Tarn? Well, yeah, I guess you can look at it that way. Or what did the Megatron X call it in Cyberverse? It was his perfect Decepticons. Just reaching for these plushes. Do you prefer Lio Convoy over Lio Prime? Well, it's more that I'm more used to Lio Convoy. I've been calling it Lio Convoy for like nearly 15 years, and the Lio Prime trademark only really became a thing when they did the toy. And God, when did they do that toy? That was like 2000. God, 2013, 2012. You know, so actually, I've probably been calling it Lio Convoy even longer than that. That's me, Lio Convoy longer than that. Will Kingdom have a Commander class figure? Yes, it will. We just don't know what it is yet. I think that Alpha Trion protocols will activate and the arc transforms. Yeah, you might be onto something there. Do you think G1 or Beast Wars are better than Bayverse? I'm going to say that again for Screamer. Do you think G1 and Beast Wars is better than Bayverse? Yes. I think G1, if it was only one episode, is better than Bayverse. I think if Beast Wars, if it was only one episode. Wow, Screamer, you're really posting it a lot of times there. Yes, it's better than Bayverse. By a lot. A significant amount. That is why we don't have 10th anniversary Bayverse stuff. Let's put it that way. Mutant Rodimus is rumored. Yep. We don't know nothing about it. Although maybe that mutant part was a mistake. We don't know. Care Bears is better than Bayverse. Thank you, Jason. Chances of the DJD coming to main line. Yeah. Do you think Hasbro would love to make a electric chair transformer? It's a lot of trademarks that they don't have. They don't have Tarn. They don't have those names. You know, so I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you love the DJD, you got to get those third-party figures. Best way to keep track of what trademarks are closing is required. You have to use the U.S. Patent Office, and you have to have an account with them. If you don't have an account with them, which I do, they don't let you see as much as patents and trades than they let with the public. That's how they make money. Business. You think Carnage and C Minor is better than the Bayverse? Yeah, because it still has cool characters in it. Let's put it this way. Galvatron and Carnage and C Minor has more characterization than most Bayverse characters. And probably had more lines, too. So, man, I really like, Bayverse Sideswipe and all 7 lines he had across 6 movies, you know. 10th anniversary Bayverse. How would they anniversary line? Pumping out Studio Series figures. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there's no celebration of it because it was what it was. It was what it was. But at the end of the day, again, I understand why it existed and what it did for Transformers. But, I mean, just go back and watch the discussions I had with Aaron Archer. They understood that it was junk food. We all like junk food, but it's not good for you to have in the long run. For anyone who likes Bayverse, keep buying the action figures and Hasbro will keep putting them out. Yep, it's true. Kiss players or Bayverse? I love Kiss players. This is Kiss Play's American cover. This is if you read it left to right. But if you are a Japanese person, you have to read it right to left. And that's how Japan rolls. That is how Japan rolls. I'm going to get flagged for this. Right, Marissa Fairborn? Anyways, I like Kissplay. Because Kissplay, the one good thing that Kissplay gave us, it gave us the official Transformers timeline. Japanese timeline. And for that alone, I am grateful for Kiss players. And they gave us some cool toys, some cool alternator repaints. So, can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. Gave us Rosanna, a red, a pink repaint of Eject and Rewind. A lot of cool stuff. Oh, Japan. Is there a Transformers main universe? I like to feel, to me, the main Transformers timeline that I like the best is the Japanese G1 timeline, like the Japanese cartoon G1 timeline. But I also really like the Marvel Comics one too. So, speaking of Marissa Fairborn, what's going on with the latest Legends manga? I don't even want to say it on air. It's what Sakamoto thinks of a certain group of individuals. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Can you show us the Japanese Kissplay comic again? Didn't get a screenshot. Sorry, man. It is what it is. Oh, Legends. Josh Perez in the house. I love Josh. Marissa's art was on her box art. Now there's a lot more. There's a lot of the supplemental art too. Of all of this. A lot of the cool stuff too, like a lot of the manga stories and everything, explaining like the egg bots and everything. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Where you put combiner or giant figure. Where do I put my combiners or giant figures? I have a section that's all my big figures. My two Metroplexes, my two Fort Maxes, my two Devastators. But Unicron's going to go right behind me over here, because Unicron's going to be too big for that section. Sakamoto has poor feelings towards Canadians. Protoman confirms it. No, it's not against Canadians. No. Me and Sakamoto are tight. Sakamoto-san and me are really awesome. There's a whole other layer to that, man. There's a whole other layer to that. I love Hayato. He's an amazing dude, man. Favorite thing to come out of the Legends manga? Oof. That is a tough one. Oh, man. Let's go with Sakamoto finally explaining the origin of Planet Micro with Micromaster Hot Rod with the creation matrix in the online Legends black and white manga pages. Let's go with that. That was awesome. That was really awesome. Can you put a survey on future guests? I keep putting a survey for future guests. Excuse me. Sakamoto for TF Con Canada. I would back that 200%. I would back that 400%. Sakamoto is one of the most talented and one of the most brilliant minds in Transformers, okay? He fills the gaps, no pun intended, of fiction where it's normally ignored. And his art is really good. And the guys who do his coloring are just as awesome. Wink, wink. Hey, Protoman, do you know a lot of people at Hasbro? Do you get insider knowledge? No comment. I absolutely love for him to come to TFCon Toronto. I would love it if he came. He used to come to all the BotCons, and I think if we had a good international pull that would make it worth it for him to come, it would happen. It would happen. Is Sakamoto in the Hall of Fame yet? No. No, right now the Hall of Fame is mostly voice actors and super early writers. Like it's pretty much Simon Furman, Bob, and then like, you know, Peter, Frank, Dan Gilbazin, and we just got Greg recently. I'm pretty sure maybe they'll do a post, you know, whatever that term is when someone's passed away and they put him into a Hall of Fame. Post humorous, whatever it's called there. I don't know what that term is. They'll do one for like maybe Chris Latta, you know. Protoman, do you think about Larry taking over TF line? Are you talking about Lenny? Lenny is taking over. Pay attention to Lenny, guys. Lenny is the future. And we're in good hands with Lenny, because Lenny comes from good stock. Let's put it that way. Is Simon Furman the Kevin Feige of Transformers? I don't think so. I don't think so. I love Simon. He's done stuff that I wasn't a fan of, and he's done some stuff that I absolutely freaking love. So, I love Simon Furman. I love a lot of his stuff. And he's a super, super, super friendly guy. I've hung out with him on like 4 or 5 different occasions. There's like tons of photos of me at the bar with him. And he's a super funny dude. Him and Paul Eiding, when you get them together, are out of their minds. Protoman, who is your favorite Marvel superhero? I have 3. I have what I call the Holy Trinities for each, for Marvel and DC. For Marvel, I like Wolverine, specifically when he's written by Chris Claremont and Frank Miller. I like Captain America from the Ultimates continuity, Ultimates Captain America specifically. And I like Miss Marvel, a.k.a. Carol Danvers Miss Marvel. I don't like Captain Marvel. I don't like that modern version. And I'm not too... And Kamala Khan doesn't speak to me. It's not me. Miss Marvel, 2000s, 80s, 70s, Carol Danvers. That's my 3. For DC, it's Nightwing, a.k.a. Dick Grayson. It is Wally West Flash, the second Flash. Love him. He was my Flash growing up in the 80s and the 90s and the Justice League cartoons. And Huntress. Yeah, I love Captain America. Dude saying Miss Marvel with the boots and sash is best. I hate what they're doing with Carol. I absolutely hate everything that they're doing with Miss Marvel, with the way they handle that character. And it sucks, but it is what it is. I just got to keep moving forward. Huntress question for Protoman. Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Because I like Earth 2 Huntress being the daughter of Batman, and I like Earth 2 Huntress. I love that design, but I also like Bertinelli, you know, Earth 1, you know, Justice League, DC Animated Universe. I love that version too. I love that version also. So that's a tough one. It's like a tie between the two of them. I just kind of merged them together. I love them both. I love them both. They're really good. And again, I hated what Birds of Prey did with Huntress. I'm not a fan of what these movies are doing, man. I'm not. You know, but that's just me. That's just me. But then again, I'm pretty sure I wasn't alone on the Birds of Prey hate. So, favorite Wolverine costume? That's a tough one. Because I really like the classic orange and brown, which is called the Slash outfit. I really like the yellow one. And I really like the John Barnes, you know, black patch, you know, issues 1 to 8 kind of, you know, color scheme too. I really like that one also. They actually did a figure of that one recently with Marvel Legends. So that's a tough one. I love, and I just like sometimes a Wolverine in a wife beater, no mask, you know, kicking butt, like, you know, right there, man, right there. There's Wolvie right there, and there's some Zoids because I'm working on some Zoids. But yeah, you know. Okay, Christina said it the best. I'm not even going to repeat it. Anyone who wants to read the chat, Christina said it the best. I don't want to get flagged. What are your top 3 Marvel villains for DC or Marvel? Ooh, that's okay. So for Marvel, I've always been a Thanos guy my whole life. This wasn't because of recent Marvel movies. One of the first comic books I ever owned was Infinity Gauntlet #3. I only bought it because I was looking at the cover and I'm like, wow, there's so many superheroes on this. They must all be in the book. I was like 4 years old at the time. No, I think it was 5. But love that book. And I love Thanos. When I discovered Jim Starlin and Ron Lim with Thanos Quest, made me obsessed with that character. I also really like Galactus. I'm a big cosmic universe kind of guy. I really like Galactus is another interesting guy. I like Venom. Venom is a cool dude too. Like there's a lot of really cool villains in Marvel, but I don't know. That one I don't have like Thanos is for sure #1, but like 2 and 3, it's kind of a mix of different things. In DC, that's a tougher one. That's a tougher one because I really like Batman Rogue Gallery stuff, and that's where it leans more into Nightwing and everything. But that's the easy answer. And I find that DC also as a company is weaker when it comes to villains that are iconic as opposed to Marvel, because like, you know, Lex Luthor and Brainiac and Doomsday and stuff like that for Superman, you know, you could appreciate Lex Luthor, I guess, you know, but it's tougher. Tougher. Dude, same Galactus. Silver Surfer. By the way, I mentioned my 3 for Marvel, but I love Silver Surfer. I love the fact that Captain Marvel replaced Silver Surfer in Infinity War Endgame, in Avengers Endgame. Like literally everything that Carol was supposed to be Silver Surfer is killer for me. And I love Miss Marvel, but I don't like Captain Marvel's depiction, and I think she shouldn't have been in the movie because in the original Infinity Gauntlet, Carol was nowhere near that stuff. She just doesn't. She wasn't part of it. Just put Silver Surfer, you know. And I understand. Yeah, Fox had the Fantastic Four stuff and everything, but man, like it just sucks that he wasn't there. He would have like added so much to it. For people who never read the Infinity Gauntlet comic, there was like this amazing scene where like he almost got the glove, moving at light speed, almost got it, and it just would have been such a great scene to do in a live action movie. Do you like how they did Thanos in the MCU? I like what they did. I don't have a problem with it, but I found that they aimed more on him being strong, and they focused less on him being clever, like outsmarting people. You did have a small moment of that when he went to the Collector and he tricked, for again, spoiler for anyone that hasn't seen these movies yet, when he tricked Gamora into like killing him but didn't kill him. Like that was the only time you ever got to see clever Thanos, where in the comics you see clever Thanos all the time outsmarting people. So I would have wanted more of that. Like it was, you know, like how we got the other gauntlets were more just smash things, kill things. I got it. Didn't really have to use his brain that much. I loved what George Perez is doing. Yeah, George Perez is super talented dude. Love what he did with tons of books, especially even what he did Crisis on Infinite Earth. Another great book. Bit of a heavy read, but a good book. All those crossovers. There was some cleverness at Thanos Endgame when he realized there was time travel. Again, it's there, but it wasn't like the MO of what that character was. I've always loved Thanos because of like how he was a smart megalomaniac, and that wasn't completely there. It wasn't as obvious. People look more as like, you know, there's a term like a flying brick. Like that's what I felt like they were using more with Thanos. Who's the most powerful out of Marvel, DC, and Transformers? Not counting gods, because that wouldn't be fair. We still don't, you know, there was the untapped potential that is extremely angry World War Hulk, which we've yet to see, really. DC, not counting gods, it's Superman. and he's a god in a sense. And not counting gods and Transformers, I stand with Starsaber. Starsaber survived a supernova in Transformers Victory, a planet exploding, and he wasn't even that messed up. Optimus Prime died from an energon bleed out from getting hit in the side here. So I'm going to go with Starsaber. He's the man with the plan. What do you think Lenny will bring in the coming years of Transformers? Experience and marketing strategy that'll work well with people and make people want to buy stuff. I think a lot of what John Warden brought to Kingdom is also what Lenny brought to Kingdom. And that's marketing, playability, packaging. There's a lot of stuff there that an old school fan could appreciate that made people understand why they collected toys and why they were completists. What are we at here? My favorite storyline was the Flashpoint series. I like how it ended. Had a good ending. Don't want to spoil for people that never read it. But the thing with Bruce Wayne, pretty cool stuff. Thoughts on Fast and the Furious? Iconic series. Grew the street racing scene in America very strongly. I felt it peaked at the third movie. Third movie's probably the best one of the bunch, and then it just stopped becoming about racing after that. I used to do street racing back in the day, so I could appreciate what Fast and the Furious did, but it created also a weird community. The ricers and the sleepers and all of that. It's drag race. Lenny has a great in-person presence. Well, he's also someone that is experienced. He's not new to the game, so he's a good businessman too. What is your opinion of Donny Cade's Silver Surfer run? I always feel, it's just my opinion, but I've always felt that the best Silver Surfer run, and it's a little controversial, was Silver Surfer Requiem. That one, if you want to read one Silver Surfer book, but you have to know the character, that's a really good book. Lenny was feeding off of John's energy. Yeah, it's those two, they had a lot to do with Kingdom. Would Thunderclash work with some new media somewhere? Yeah. We had a Thunderclash colored Optimus Prime in Transformers Prime. There's clearly interest. Your Transformers 2002, you mean Thanos Quest, not Infinity Quest. Thanos Quest with the Grandmaster and the Mind Stone. All of it's amazing. All of it. Read Thanos Quest, part 1 and 2. It'll make you love Thanos even more than the movies ever did. What Transformer trademarks are about to expire? I'd have to open it up right now. It's not open, and I don't want to mess with the stream. Make it all choppy. Sometimes if the stream gets choppy, it's because I accidentally opened something. Best Thanos comic isn't Thanos Quest. Isn't that? I think Thanos Quest is the best Thanos comic, but if you want to look for other stuff, there's a lot of stuff where he appeared on Silver Surfer crossovers that are really good too. I think it's Silver Surfer 77 to 85. Some really good stuff there too. Do you think Lenny will give us non-G1 stuff? Yes, a lot of that. A lot of that, because Lenny is more familiar with non-G1 stuff. Lenny's whole MO, look it up. Although it's not... Lenny's MO on the TF Wiki is extremely incomplete. So maybe not look it up on the Wiki, but if you look at Lenny's history that does exist that you could see, a lot of it is not G1. Shame to say that I still need to read Surfer Rebirth Thanos. That's another good one too. Where are we at here? We're doing all this Thanos talk. I'm sorry for the Transformer fans that are like, why are y'all talking about Thanos? 13 figures, give me Machine Wars, Hasbro. Yeah, Josh, I want Machine Wars too. I do. Well, if you get a Thunderclash, you'll get a Machine Wars Optimus Prime at least. You'll definitely get that. Just picked up Earthrise Starscream today after getting Target exclusive Seekers. Finally have Season 1 Seekers. That's awesome, my friend. That's awesome. Dude, same, been wanting Machine Wars. Who'd win in a fight, Unicron or Thanos? Does Unicron have the Infinity Gauntlet? If not, does Thanos have the Infinity Gauntlet? If not, Unicron. I mean, it doesn't matter how strong Thanos is, he's going to just be chipping away at him. I mean, he could probably use his intellect and work something out and maybe make a deal with Galactus and blah, blah, blah. But in a one-on-one fight, no. What's the worst and best TF figure in your opinion? I don't think it's the worst figure, but it's just because it's not a good figure. I always stand by Ultra Class Night Scream from Beast Machines because it doesn't scale with anything. Night Scream just isn't a cool character. It's a weird head sculpt. The toy itself is brittle. Like, it just has so many things not going for it. You know, it's just not a good toy. And it's expensive. It's expensive, too, in the secondary market. So it was expensive when it was new. It was expensive in the secondary market. There's nothing going for it. Why didn't you get a comb over? They're in style. I don't know. Would it work? Are they in style? What is the likelihood of getting a new Blendtron figures? Well, I mean, the molds are available. So if they want to do reissues of it, that'd be pretty easy. But, I mean, the thing is that that's using characters that would create molds that I don't know if Hasbro would want to do more with. You know, like, think about it. Like, if they did, like, I don't know. I don't know. That'd be a tough one. Thanos is not a grape. He's a California raisin. There's a difference. He's the hippest dried fruit around. Funky but chunky with the lay down. Cool is the rule because the music's so fine. You bet you heard about us through the old grapevine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not prunes or dates. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And we ain't no ordinary grapes. We are the music. We are the muse. And don't forget about the sweet prudence, too. The California raisins. Amazing raisins. Will Hasbro continue doing TF mashups? Probably. Once in a while they do crossover stuff. Look, now we have the My Little Transformer stuff coming. I think, I mean, just... Thank you, Joss. I think that we're going to probably see, like, because they always do these crossovers with, like, an anniversary. And if they do one next year, we might have Knight Rider. Because it'll be Knight Rider's anniversary with Transformers. So having Kit with Optimus Prime and Car and all that, that'd be crazy. Did you ever watch Batman Mask of the Phantasm? I saw it in theaters. Luckily, I didn't see the Mask of the Phantasm action figure beforehand, for people who don't know about that story. I loved it. I think it's a top 3 Batman movie. Doesn't get enough love, that movie. And it's a really good movie. And not a lot of people saw it in theaters, too, from what I learned years later. I mean, maybe just because I really like Batman. I mean, who didn't like Batman in the 90s? On that note, do you ever think they'll do a Fast and the Furious Transformer crossover? That means licensed cars. I don't know. That'd be a tough one. That'd be going back to, like, the problems that they had with alternators. That's a good question you could ask Aaron Archer. Oh yeah, Kenner screwed up with Mask of the Phantasm. Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, they did. That could have been a selling point. Put the mask on the figure and tell people, buy the figure, learn the secret. You know, they did that with the Inspector Gadget toy line, where, like, you had to buy the figure to see Dr. Claw's face. But they didn't do that with Mask of the Phantasm? Shame on you. Shame on you, developers. Designers at Kenner. Who was sleeping at the wheel that day? What do you think of the 2008 Knight Rider? Taking advantage of Barricade being pop culture hip because he was the new Mustang. Every time I watched it, I was always reminded of that. It was 2 Transformers. You don't need that much Transformers in Knight Rider. You just need a sassy car with the voice of the teacher from Boy Meets World. Yes, it was the same voice. He was uncredited, but it was the same voice. So Kids is only So Kids is the only Autobot call we need to line up figures where you want to see him co-op or some other minivan. I don't know. No More Heroes. I have not played. I have a friend who always tells me to play it, but I've not played it. I think it was not Jaws D. I think it was my friend Josh that asked me to. A different Josh asked me to play it. Kid could not transform into a pickup truck. No, he's got to be like some really cool looking. Like he could transform, and then like his eye will have the visor thing that goes new new new. That'd be so cool. That would be so cool. Will the mercenaries result in getting more GoBots done a la TF style? Maybe. That would be cool. I don't see how mercenaries equal GoBots. Most mercenaries seem to lean more towards like odd Japanese exclusive repaint stuff. So, I don't know. We'll definitely see with that one. Modern cars are practically kid already. Yeah, but I could see them for a one moment doing like the one, you know, Firebird license for with kit and everything. But to do a whole line of Fast and the Furious, I don't know. They're not going to want to do that. Isn't Street Sharks 90s? Street Sharks is extremely 90s. They bite, they fight. Street Sharks, they're going to kick some serious fin to win. The Street Sharks. Would you want to see kids as some short of Mini Cooper? Would you want to see kids as some sorts of coupe or minivan? Cast Vin Diesel for the live-action Street Sharks film. I'm sorry, Vin. It's my fault that the world knows about that, too. I posted about that, and then Time Magazine picked it up, and then the world learned about it. Huffer live-action movie when? Did the second non-exclusive Gigawatt come out yet? Not yet. Not yet. Hopefully that won't get scalped to death, because I didn't even get one. It was brutal how badly scalped that guy got. $39.99 to $500. What a world. What is the difference between the last Autobot and Vector Prime? A lot. One is an original 13 member that is able to manipulate time and uses the time sword. Appeared in multiple series, and the other one is a backup to fight against Unicron. Read Simon Furman's run. Good stuff. Issues number 55 to 80. What do you think of Transformers going to Injustice route and making Optimus Prime the villain with the Autobots at his regime? Well, that's what Shattered Glass would be. And we had many years of that. Where am I at here? Have you seen Samurai Jack? Yes, I have, and I really like it. What is the best repaint of the Siege Ironhide mold to you? Well, I'd probably have to be the Ratchet, which was a Walgreens exclusive because it has that cool repair mode. But to be fair, I really like that Crosshairs too. I think I have that nearby here somewhere. Oh no, did I put it already back in the display? I think I did. I like that Crosshairs one also because I love Crosshairs. He was so cool in the season 4 intro. It's like sliding and making the sparks. I don't know. Crosshairs was really good too. Protoman, if you were a Transformer, what would be your name and what would be your faction? It would be Proto, because it exists already. He would be a red Formula 1 car. His name would be Proto, because Proto means to be first, and in racing, you want to be first. Second place is the first guy to lose. And he would be an Autobot. I have a fan character. I have 2 fan characters. I don't talk about them. And they've made cameos in fiction. And even Mr. Perez here put a Protoman bot in the background quite a few times. In some books. I forget which ones. Josh will remember probably. What is your favorite Transformers comic book story? Ooh. That's a tough one because there's a lot. I like... Here's a weird one that probably a lot of people wouldn't guess. The Armada Moon Base story from Dreamwave comic books. Dreamwave had an Armada comic book, and they did a small Moon Base mini-con story, like a little small arc. That was really good. Where like Duelor, and I have like Duelor like in robot mode up front with all the mini-cons in my collection because I love how Duelor was done there. That was really good. That's like one that no one would expect me to say. Matrix Quest, Simon Furman, really good. Uh, Again, Primus origin stories from issue 75 onward. Uh, Regeneration, just that whole last 15 issues, really good. Not 15, 20 issues, really good stuff. There's a lot. There's a lot. Casey Collar's Spotlight Blur, that's a great one shot. Trail Cutter, Spotlight, great one shot. A lot of really good stuff. I know I'm forgetting a million of them, but off the top of my head, some of the less common ones that people talk about, because no one talks about like literally legit. This is on my computer desk. I love the Blur Spotlight because that talks about Cybertronians' racing history, and because I always imagined my character would be a race car kind of character. Love it. Where are we at here? Do you prefer the color of the Quintesson to the retail? I think the retail release has better colors, but obviously the pit version is too sexy to ignore. Looking at Big Bad Toy Store has a slight sale on Titans Returns Overlord. That's a great mold. You should probably pick it up, even if the Legends one is slightly better. Is there a difference between the last Autobot and Vector Prime? I just said it before. Jason, Vector Prime is original 13, all that. Do you think we could see the DJD in future getting figures because Tarn is apparently in Cyberverse? Hot Rod Spotlight wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't feeling the Hot Rod Spotlight. I wanted to like it, but it was okay. It was okay. There was a lot better spotlights even back then. Like the Scorponok one was better. The Shockwave one was better. Even like those first spotlights, like the first couple. Here we go. We got a super chat from Symbiote Studios. Did you like Did you like Walmart exclusive RED RC? Yes, I do. I like it a lot. But part of me also is like, the original toys were just as good. I really like the. I think that it took like, let's say the second version of Transformers Prime Deluxe RC and cleaned it up, made it more like, I guess, less kibble, if you will. It's still good. I like the details. I'm not feeling the chest thing. That's kind of bizarre with the transformation cog. It really makes it look like she's just wearing like this padded bra, and then she just has this like this sports bra under, and she has her T cog. I don't know. It's so weird. But then Cheetor has it too, so it's also bizarre. It's very weird. I remember when they were showing it off. Even them, they were like, When will the Beast Wars movie come out? Whenever they're ready. In a time that we live in today, who knows when anything's going to happen. Are we getting a second round of Cyberverse Deluxes? I wish. I think Cyberverse is done, unfortunately. When Wendy took off the Artie chest plate, I commented, avert my eyes. It was what it was. I wish they would have said, it's a throwback to, Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia when she had a removable bra. But I don't think they wanted to mention that in the panel. Why hasn't Hasbro repainted, retooled Counterpunch into Point Blank yet? I love the repaints. I love repainting. Why? Probably just doesn't have a slot to put it in. They need to have, look, when you do repaints or when you do any releases, you go, okay, wave 2 of this assortment, 4 slots per case assortment, they have the characters planned. They just probably didn't have the room for it. That's all. Do you think War for Cybertron Deluxe will make use of any additional budget due to the increase in price and the lack of Battle Masters? No, unfortunately. Hasbro has a tendency that when they somehow save money, they don't put that money towards something else. They kind of just pocket it, unfortunately. Hey, we're going to get rid of trading cards. Oh, that means that things are going to be cheaper, right? No. Hey, we're bringing back trading cards. That means things are going to be the same, right? No, we're going to increase deluxes by $2 because those foil trading cards have a peel reveal gimmick. Ooh, okay. But you're saving on packaging, right? Because now there's less plastic. Yeah, but the trading card. Also, due to getting clearly superior Hot Rod figure coming, is it justified for fans to custom a Legends Point Blank from Titan Returns, Hot Rod. I want to have a proper Point Blank only because I love Target Master Point Blank. He's, again, like one of those like top 10 Transformer characters for me. I love how he was depicted in the Headmaster's cartoon, specifically the Japanese version, because he was a bit of a dick, and I thought he was kind of cool. He's like the first ever Transformer character to like hate Wheelie, like to actually like call him out and hate him long before the fans were doing it. Like he did that in 1987, so he was pretty cool. I think we'd better if it took the chests off and revealed their spark. Kind of like how the Transmetal 2s had their hidden sparks. Yeah, that would have been cool. I don't, but like they say it's like a transformation cog, but I don't see it. I don't see it. And it's funny too because like they did, yeah, I could actually pull the RC one out. They did like, these were Kinder Egg exclusives, and these had transformation cogs. Like they actually was like, that was the gimmick. So, I don't know. Like it didn't even look like a transformation cog. It's weird. I think they just, part of me feels, it's just me, I feel like it's like, oh, hey, do you ever notice how like the chests come off really easily in assembly? We'll make that a gimmick. Okay. Is the peel to reveal be a re-stickable sticker? It looks like it's like a Post-it, you know, like how it use that reapplicable kind of stickiness. I think that's what it's going to be. You can peel it off. Oh, okay, it's that, and then slide it back on. I have so many Kinder Bees. Yes, you do, Josh. Yes, you do. Are those Kinder Egg ones the ones that made you sick? Yes. You know what's funny with that? Like, afterwards, after I did that video, I had like a Ziploc bag of like Kinder Egg halves, and like it sat in my car for weeks because I'd finish work and I'd be like, because it took forever to finish those because Kinder Eggs, man, you have to eat like 2, and then you're like already getting heartburn at the age of 11. You know, like that's how thick they are. That German chocolate, so rich. What do you think is the best repaint of the Siege Ironhide mold? I just said maybe it's either Ratchet or Crosshairs. I probably lean more on Crosshairs now that I think about it. Only 11 eggs, amateur. I ate 13 in one set record. Don't ask why I did it for the rest of my day. Well, that's a competition I will let you win, my friend, because I would never want to have to do that. Do you think they made an RED Bumblebee from Prime? Well, we are supposed to get a Bumblebee. We don't know if it's G1 or Prime. I think it's supposed to be G1, though. I think so. But I could be wrong. Flashback to BotCon's 100 Chicken McNuggets. Oh boy. I have to pull that up. BotCon Nuggets. BotCon Nuggets. It's going to make people go away from the video, but maybe you could just open it in a separate window or something. Oh boy. That's called a Canadian getting to enjoy the cheapness of American fast food. They changed Hot Rod's name. It has to do with trademarking. They lost the Hot Rod trademark to Mattel back in 1993, and Mattel was milking the Hot Rod name for years. Transformers wasn't able to use it. Originally, they wanted to use Hot Rod for Sideburn, which was Speedbreaker from Car Robots. They couldn't use it, so they called it Sideburn. Then they were going to call Hot Shot Hot Rod. They called him Hot Rod in the Japanese version. They couldn't, so they called him Hot Shot because they couldn't use it. And then years passed and years passed and years passed. And then they finally got Hot Rod back, and they actually applied it to a trademark because in the UK, they had the, anyone remember the Robot Heroes? Those little like articulated figures there. They did reissues of them that were blind packed in the UK, and they used Hot Rod name on it, and they got the Hot Rod name back after Mattel forgot to re-trademark it. So yay! Mattel's notorious for trademarking stuff and just sitting on it forever. But I give you credit, man, eating more than 2 eggs itself. Yeah, they're terrible. Did you ever see the Animorphs TV show? I love anything Animorphs. I can barely see it, but my Animorphs collection is all there. That's all my Animorphs stuff. And then, of course, you have the Disney ones on top. I read the books. I'm trying to collect them all. Whenever I go to like thrift stores or flea markets, I try to find them in good condition. I watch the TV series too. If you want to see Iceman from the old X-Men movies in one of his earliest roles, watch the Animorphs TV show. Robot heroes are awesome. I'm trying to collect the prototypes if I could find them. Animorphs are Transformers. Well, to some people they are. To some people they are. Have you ever played Strikers 1954? Why does that sound familiar? What was that? Strikers. Sounds familiar. Sorry, I'm just going to go check that quickly. It's going to probably make everything jumpy a little bit. Oh, it was a shoot 'em up. No, I never played that one. Never played that one. Looks a little bit like Aero Fighters for SNK. So I called Burger King, right? So I asked them if the Big Mac and the McNuggets, they gave me a price for it. Does that mean you could buy McDonald's food? No, I think they were messing with you. Because they probably have people calling them, tricking them. Teach you to eat 100 nuggets plus nice breakdown cosplay. Yeah, that was... Who did that breakdown cosplay? Oh my god, what was her name? Who did it? Who's so talented? Oh my god. Who did the breakdown? Mirai Baby. Mirai Baby did that breakdown cosplay. Yeah. It was Amber. So good. That was so good, that cosplay. And then she had a friend that did Knockout. That was just as amazing, too. And she came to TFCon, the very first TFCon USA, the very first Chicago one. I think I have a photo with the Knockout. It was really nice. But yeah. Were they at Toronto also? I don't remember. But I remember like the first time she came to Chicago. It was really cool. Yeah, the Starscream one too. I remember that one also. That one was really good. Were you happy about Knockout winning the voting for this week? Honestly, I thought it was going to be RC or Knockout. It doesn't surprise me. Because to me, it was like, who were characters that really stood out in the series? Like, who really was like, oh, these... Like, when you think of Prime RC, like, she really is unique to that series. You know, like, no offense to, like, Cyberverse RC or any other incarnations or even, like, animated. But Prime RC was very unique to that version. And Knockout was just this breakout character that debuted in that series. So, I have no problem with him winning. Makes sense, in my opinion. And he's a cool card. Can't go wrong with that. We're supposed to be getting a RAD Knockout, according to the leaked listings. Makes me wonder if Hasbro already knew who was going to win. Is there a good link for the breakdown cosplay? The link I just posted. Here, I'll post it again. Oh no, I just lost it. You'll have to scroll up. It was one of the YouTube links I posted. Have you ever heard of Travis Scott meal at McDonald's? If there was a Protoman McDonald's meal, what would it be? Also the same for Burger King since you used to work there. No joke. This is what I used to get every single time I went to McDonald's. I used to take, and someone could totally steal this from me. I'm surprised McDonald's has never done this. I used to make what I called the Big Mac Chicken, which I would get 2 McChickens, and I'd literally make a Big Mac out of it. And what I would put inside, it would obviously have the McChicken stuff in it, but I would tell them no McChicken sauce, still have the lettuce, and I'd put sweet and sour inside instead. And I'd put French fries. Big Mac Chicken. That's what I would have. That would be the Protoman meal. Big Mac Chicken. 2 McChickens together. Now you're making me hungry. Guys, what is it? Like 10:30 at night and I'm starving now. But that's what I used to have. All the time at McDonald's. So good. What up, Dylan? Dylan in the house. But yeah, I used to love that. With a little scarf. With a little Protoman scarf. Little scarf. I actually have a few here, but You know what's hilarious? On top of my computer, I have this. The other Josh colorist, Josh Burcham. He was like, "Hey man, like I saw Monsters University, and I thought of you when I saw this guy. He just reminded me of you." And I was like, "What?" And it's like, I don't know why. That was funny. So I've always had it on my desktop. Shout out to Josh Burcham. But yeah, so like that's what I would have at McDonald's, and that's what I legit have at Burger King. I was able to eat anything I wanted at Burger King, and in all honesty, the best thing on Burger King's menu is the stacker, not even the Whopper. I find that the smaller burgers, they cook better than the Whopper, which by the way, all the burgers in Burger King are made by a machine, and they're not good. But I find that the smaller burgers, which are made for the stackers, as opposed to the Whopper, you have the junior patty, and then you have the quarter pounder, which is used for the Whopper, but the junior patties, which are used for the stackers, are way better. And so, like, they used to have a sandwich called the stacker, which was delicious. And then they had the steakhouse sandwich, which I felt like for the first time in my life, as a skinny man, I actually gained weight because I used to eat 2 a day. And oh boy, so good. Thank you. Mariah Baker. 100 nuggets. It was me and a whole bunch of other Canadians going a little overboard. And then Josh makes a cameo in it too. The British Butcher, aka oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Oh my god. Soul Fury, thank you. Soul Fury was in it. I love Simon. Such a cool guy. Soul Fury was in it. High Q was there, who was also one of the British guys from TFW 2005. Who else was in that video? Well, obviously, like the Canadian dudes, obviously Ultra Maverick, who's one of the coolest dudes in all of Transformer fandom, John. But yeah, 100 American nuggets was just too much for me. I normally could do about like 60 Canadian nuggets, but the American ones, man, there's a lot of salt in them. There's a lot of salt. It's crazy. Burger King isn't good, guys. Let me tell you, I worked there for years. And then I had my buddy who worked at McDonald's like literally nearby, and we used to like just get free food from each other. And Burger King isn't that good. It really isn't. It really isn't. They have a few good things. I think that their blueberry pies are good. I think that their chicken sandwich is good if it's old. I know that sounds weird, but the chicken sandwich when it's fresh is like a sponge of oil. When it's a little old and the oil has left it, then it's actually not too bad. It's a little salty though. And they have the worst onion rings. Ugh. And the fries are garbage. Ugh. Never was a fan of Burger King. And they get some of the, like, I find like toys too. Imagine, toy collector working at Burger King. They got all the B-list toys. It's like if like McDonald's was getting like Disney stuff, they were getting like CG movies that no one cared about, like Over the Hedge, or was it like Hunting Season, or Robots, or what was it, like all the weird like CG movies that no one cared about that were like kids movies. The only one that they had toys of Astro Boy, and that was cool. That was cool. I liked it when we had the Astro Boy toys. How has Burger King not gone bankrupt yet? Because they're still number 2. They still make tons of money. Look, when I worked at Burger King, we had a McDonald's to the left of us, and we had a Wendy's to the right of us. It was like this like fast food strip, right? Every lunchtime, it was packed. People liked Burger King. I can't explain it. I personally, if I had to choose, I would have not been Burger King. Of those 3, I love Wendy's personally. I think Wendy's is amazing. A&W is awesome too. But I think Wendy's kind of edges out. But Ants and Bug Life, we had toys of those too. We got all the weird stuff. Like McDonald's would get Hot Wheels, we would get Matchbox. Like we got all the B-list stuff. It was so funny. But we got Transformers for years. For a while we had Transformers. I found very bizarre. We had all the movie stuff and Cybertron. So that was cool. Do you think Energon's Shock Blast transformation is a good fit for Megatron because how similar they are? A little bit. I find that Energon's Shock Blast also kind of reminds me of Machine Wars Soundwave a little bit. But he's over here with the crew. Farmers markets are awesome. I get all my fruits from those. When a person buys the veggie Whopper at Burger King, do you think they grill it with meat on? Okay, I'll actually cover that. The veggie burger at Burger King is actually amazing. It actually is good. I'm not a veggie burger person, but it actually tastes good. And what they do is they actually make it separate. It's actually made completely separately on a completely different grill, and I think that's why it tastes good. Because it's not done like the Whoppers and the Whopper Juniors. It's actually good. I have not had the Impossible Burger. I have not had that. Let's put it this way. I haven't worked at Burger King since 2009. No, 2010 was when I stopped working there. No, 2009. When did I start mechanics? 2009 I stopped working at Burger King. And I'll tell you something, man. I'll tell you something. Like, I haven't had Burger King since then. Because it's like I refuse to pay for it. Like, because I just don't like it. McDonald's, I'll still pay for it. At A&W Wendy's, I'll still pay for it. I won't pay for BK. BK is meh. Don't diss BK. If it wasn't for Burger King, my parents wouldn't have met. And I wouldn't exist. Okay. They fell in love over a Whopper and apple pie. Such a beautiful destiny. And then Kid Vid came out of nowhere with the Burger King Kids Club and officiated at their wedding. That's the only cool thing that Burger King had. They had the Burger King Kids Club kids. And the first ever Wendell Jaws D action figure. Is it true fast food chains get all the toys at once? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We get all the toys at once, and then they have dates when they're supposed to come out. Burger King at one point had chase figures, and we used to have guys who would come in and want the chase figures. No joke, from each case, because they knew that. When Star Wars Episode 3 came out, they had the Breathing Vader, which was 4 per case of 200 toys. That was a headache. As a toy collector myself, and then having those guys coming in going, we know you have the toys. I want to buy just those. I'll give you extra money for it. That was not true for McDonald's. Might have changed these days. What did they say about Mickey D's, man? What did they say? Did your dad propose with an onion ring? It's burning my finger. How long have we been going, guys? Holy moly. We started at 8. Jeez. You want to call it quits? I think we'll call it quits today. We will end it with what my top 5 favorite McDonald's fast food lines were. In no particular order. Number 5, the Power Rangers movie line, which came with individual Zords and individual figures. It was kind of like getting Power Ranger toys. Number 4, the Batman animated series line, which came with animated figures of Batman and Batgirl, and it came with little vehicles and stuff. Number 3, the Beast Wars First Wave, with Manta Ray, with Rhino, with Panther, and with Beetle. It was really awesome. Number 2 would probably have to go to the Marvel line that they did, which had a a Hulk figure, a Human Torch figure. Like, they did a whole bunch of ones that were actually action figures when they were good. And number 1, what am I missing? Probably the McChangeables, just because they're awesome. But yeah. Oh, and how could I forget about Under 3? What's wrong with me? Under 3 was part of that too. But yeah, we'll end it with that. So thanks again, everyone, for coming. We had a good time. We peaked at 150 people at some point. I'll end it with just saying, once again, if you want to get a special deal, SymbioteStudios.com. Use the promotional code Protoman and get some cool Transformer plushes or Transformer t-shirts, all licensed by Hasbro. These are official product. They aren't some third party. This is the first ever wave of Transformer plushes. More to come in the future. Get your Soundwave with little mask even. Or the bee. And there's going to be more in the future. They also have a lot of other cool stuff. So promotion code Protoman, get $5 off your order. Final word from the sponsor. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Just how it is. They send me cool stuff in advance. Gotta shill it. Gotta shill the Hasbro product, man. So check out symbiotestudios.com. Promo code Protoman. Thanks again all for coming. It's been cool. It's been fun. It's been hip. We went kind of long, but sorry about that. Thanks and everyone for coming. It was cool, and we'll see everyone next week. Maybe I'll try to get a guest on. Maybe Perez will want to join us. Somebody. Megatron and more for the holiday season. So we'll get Megatron and the others coming soon. But yeah, thanks again for coming, guys. And as always, roll out.